Hello.
There we are.
Hey. Oh, that's loud. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna fix that.
There we go. There we go.
All right, are we in? Hold on.
Should be now.
I'm gonna see what it sounds like real quick.
There we go.
Yep, we're in.
All right, we are back. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have Max fire that music back up. We're gonna dance for a second, and then we're gonna do this whole damn thing over again so we can keep the energy rolling.
That's right.
Sorry, Max, putting you on the spot.
There's my dudes. That was a lot in here.
Hey,
Welcome, everybody.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We are, like I said, we're gonna restart this whole process, have a little bit of fun. That way we get this energy back up, we get rocking and rolling.
That's right.
As soon as Max is ready. No, we're
We
not.
are farmers. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Here we go. That's fine. Take the phone.
That will, you know what? Fuck the music. Never mind. God damn. How hard is it? All right. First and foremost, I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams. We're here with our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury, and our in-studio editor, Big Bad John. And now it is time to officially go to church, the Church of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Luke, how was your Sunday?
My Sunday's fantastic. I'm ready to get into some wrestling talk. Got a lot of big points to make today.
Yes, we do.
And be sure to stay tuned after birthdays and bullshit for this special talk that needs
We're
to be
going
taken.
to address a couple things that happened this week. And we're, you know what? Just stay tuned. We're going to take care of all that at the end of the show. But stay tuned. Check it out. First, Max, how was your Sunday?
Exhausting.
What's the matter, buddy? The speaker out, do you?
I deal with you fuckers all day.
That happens.
Well, that's fair.
That's fair enough.
Big Bad John, how's your Sunday?
Doing alright.
Oh, boy. Well, aren't you two a couple of chatty motherfuckers today? All right. enough grab ass and enough dilly-dallying. It's time to get to work, guys. Do us a favor. Be sure to like that stream. That way we can keep the ball rolling. All the likes, all the participation, everything helps. Keeps us moving. And, well, I guess since this show's already not started off the way we anticipated, I am drinking Yellowtail Merlot because I'm a classy motherfucker.
Don't drink, don't smoke.
Don't drink, don't smoke. I didn't drink it all last week. I didn't smoke it all last week. However,
he's going to double fist it today.
Today is a special episode. We're going to get into that here in a little while. But why don't we get into the work? Why don't we get into the meat and potatoes? And let's kick this thing off, Big Bad John.
Before we go to our normal spiel in the normal show, we had some breaking news.
Ooh, yes.
To cover as of just, a couple hours ago?
That's right. So as you guys know, we set up the show ahead of time now. What with our graphics and everything we get in, we have to do that ahead of time. While we were working, we got a breaking report out of Impact that Tennille Dashwood's contract has expired, and she's not the only one. There are going to be a number of contracts that come due. Sean Ross Sapp is reporting, and as soon as he reports, we will relay that to you. But as for now, the first Impact contract that went unbought today was Tennille Dashwood.
Tennille Dashwood, for most of you who don't know that name, you would remember her as Emma from the WWE. Several years ago, they teamed her with Santina Marella. They teamed her with several different people. They wanted to turn her into Emily at one point. They did the vignettes for about, 6 months.
6 months.
Brought her out. She did the gimmick once and was like, this isn't
it. And then left.
And then she was released.
Yeah,
so
it didn't take long.
With Triple H being in power now, you're going to see a lot of people start to be like, you know what, I don't
want to go someplace else.
Right.
And it's going to be a lot of NXT people that got released, and Triple H is going to be like, we got a spot.
Yeah, or people who weren't exactly happy with their run with Vince McMahon. Mm-hmm. Everything is changing. The landscape of professional wrestling has been turned on its ear, so to speak.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. Also, this past week in professional wrestling was probably one of the most intricate, best watched.
Best weeks, top to bottom, for every single show.
100%.
Yeah. Thanks, John. Hair by Caitlin. She's the only person who cuts my hair.
That's right. Except me when he's sleeping. Anyway, let's get into this week's show. What do we got up first on the docket?
All right, so we failed to cover this last week because we're terrible at this job. But last week, John Laurinitis, who was the former head of talent relations for the WWE and also indicted with the numerous Vince McMahon scandals going on right now, was released.
He was, and
unceremoniously.
Good
Bye.
riddance, for one. Here's the deal. Mr. Surfer Dude, or whatever he called himself, glad to see him gone.
Let's give a little bit of history about John Laurinaitis' wrestling career.
Okay.
So John Laurinaitis is the brother of one of the Road Warriors, the tag teams, Road Warrior Animal.
Yes.
Never really made a huge stake in American professional wrestling. However, when he went to AJPW, Baba's wife, absolutely loved him. Loved the way he looked, loved the way he wrestled. And actually, the 2 years he spent at AJPW, he was actually involved in like 2 or 3 5-star matches. When he came back to the States, he transitioned specifically as the finish guy for the WWE, replacing Pat Patterson, because he was used to Baba's booking and integrated a ton of Japanese finishes into wrestling. Then he started getting into the corporate side because he had the tenure for it, the look for it. He was always a business professional guy, and of course, always just fucking mindlessly and useless when it came to the approach of what professional wrestling genuinely was.
Well, and if you want to know what John Laurinaitis' tenure looked like without Vince McMahon, all you need to do is look at the last 3 years of WCW. In the last 3 years of WCW, John Laurinaitis was the head of talent relations for WCW before the buyout from Vince McMahon in 2001. His biggest claim to fame, of course, being a member of the Dynamic Dudes, was not it. It was the CM Punk run with the People Power and all that circa 2012,
and
2013.
To his credit, was actually very fundamental in the Summer of Punk.
He really was.
So you can't deny that he did have some acumen and some approach that he did. His talents were utilized in a way that meant something to the business and was successful at one point in time. That being said, he had a number of personal scandals that removed him from his talent relations position the first time. They brought him back 2 years ago, and now here we are, where he's indicted with the Vince McMahon scandal with the money and the women. So he's out, which brings us to our next promotion,
which is my favorite promotion, and that is my man. Shawn Michaels is now the Executive Vice President
of talent creative.
Creative, yes. Which of talent development.
Development and creative, I think.
Which means 25 years later in this business,
Triple H and Shawn Michaels
run the business. Yet again.
Insane. It was always a joke when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash left for WCW. Between them and Shawn and Triple H, that you two are going to be here, the two of us are going to be over there, and we're going to run the wrestling business. And I'll be damned if they didn't run it and are still running it today.
Except now it's a little bit more power than what they're used to. Now I want you to think about, though, Caleb, exactly what this means for professional wrestling. Shawn Michaels, probably pound for pound the greatest
in-ring performer who ever
lived, is now in the talent developmental high spot, which means everyone who comes down the road from NXT Level Up, from the
has
Indies
to go through
Shawn Michaels.
Well, there's nobody better to teach, selling, subtlety, intricacies of what we do, facial expressions, especially timing. I mean, he literally, hello Yanni, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Yanni.
He literally was the best in-ring worker ever. And when you look at how NXT was cultivated by Triple H, and then really the talent was still the talent liaison for NXT during its absolute greatest run ever.
Yeah.
So now they're in charge of the whole damn show. The whole damn show.
And here's the deal. With Triple H's mind for the business and Shawn Michaels' talent for the business, it's only going up from here.
And it's really funny if you think about those two were responsible for a corporate edict from USA Network 25 years ago, where USA put the hammer down and said, you can't behave like this. And then the ratings were so good, USA was like,
you have to behave like this.
You have to continue behaving like this.
Yeah.
To the chagrin of the WWE office, mind you. That's why Shawn Michaels, everyone always talks about, I can't believe Vince let Shawn Michaels act the way he did in 96, 97. They always talk about how Shawn was one of the lowest drawing champions. First of all, 96 and 97 were a lull in the business for everybody, including WCW, prior to the introduction of the NWO. That's a fact. However, even if it was a lull in business, they were still getting a ton of money from USA Network. And when USA Network has to step in and, first of all, slap your hand for doing what you did, and then you don't do it, and the ratings dip, and USA comes back and says, you know what, it's okay, keep doing what you're doing, and then the ratings kick up, what you did wrong, you were doing right.
Yes, 100%.
And those guys who pissed USA off, who pissed the WWE off, who pissed Vince off forever, one of them pissed him off so bad to get revenge he married his daughter, and the other one is now running the company in his absence.
The other one held the camera.
So,
they're in. They're in. And here's the deal. When you think about what?
God damn you.
When you think about Shawn Michaels and Triple H, if you're not thinking probably two of the most talented, most creative professional wrestlers in the entire history of WWE, and now we have them bringing up the new class of professional wrestlers, the new everything, and actually being able to get in without Vince McMahon's doting God mic above them, being like, okay, we're going to take these guys and we're going to take the ones that we think deserve
to be in the spotlight right,
and we're going to accentuate their positives, hide their negatives, and bring up a whole new class. It doesn't get any better than that.
And as you've seen over just like the last 3 or 4 weeks, the shows are getting better. They are spotlighting talent. The matches are longer. The matches are better. They're more well produced.
Believe me, Bethany, if you didn't get it, it's probably better that you didn't get it.
All right, John. Well, we'll get to your question here in just a little while, buddy. I had another point to make about Shawn and Triple H. Oh, I was going to say, you know who really loses out not being there right now? Adam Cole.
100%.
Had one of the best working relationships in NXT with Shawn, one of the best working relationships with Triple H. Triple H obviously pushed him to the moon. He was NXT champion for 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
And Adam Cole's not there in a time where there are 2 guys in the office who would be like, we're going to take this rocket ship, we're going to strap it to your back, and we're going to ignite it. I'm not saying Adam Cole should consider that.
But I'm saying
Adam Cole should consider that.
Yeah, 100%.
So that being said, we talked
Well, here's the deal. Ciampa is reaping all the benefits of Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano and everybody being gone.
And I'm reaping all the benefits.
It's going to be good. You're going to Raw's getting better. SmackDown's getting better. NXT's getting better.
SmackDown was already good. SmackDown was already the better show of the two when Vince was still in charge.
AEW Dynamite and Rampage have the opportunity to get better
if they keep producing shows like they produced this past Wednesday, it's going to be ridiculous. Do I think Adam Cole will come back eventually?
Eventually.
Here's the thing. With Britt being a cornerstone of AEW, I don't know. I don't know if Triple H and Shawn would be convincing enough for him to leave unless he could convince Britt to go with him, because Britt would be a boon to the women's division there. And honestly, she'd be a shot in the fucking glass for fresh blood, especially against Charlotte, Bayley, Becky. I mean...
Well, and it's been stated in interviews numerous times that Triple H was a fan of Britt Baker during her very slim run in the WWE and wanted to sign her, and she ended up signing with WWE because of the fact of the Vince McMahon... Or, I'm sorry. With the fact of the Vince McMahon thing and him not seeing what the rest of them see in it. But that's the thing. You take out Vince McMahon now. He's no longer in play.
Nope.
Now you have the lunatics running the asylum, for lack of a better term. It's only going to go up from here.
Yep. Can't wait to see. I can't wait for them to bring back Road Dogg as producer. Just because, damn. Thunder Rosa will probably never wrestle for the WWE because she is getting everything she wants in AEW, still getting to tailor her own events, still getting to run in Mexico, where she's a massive star. She gets to run her own promotion in Texas. They're doing big business. I don't ever see Thunder Rosa leaving AEW just because she's making the most money she can possibly in the situation she's in.
If she was going to leave AEW in any form, shape, or way, it would be for the NWA.
Yeah, which also still isn't.
Which she still works for them anyway.
Exactly. So she's got more freedom now to do everything she wants to do than any other female talent does, basically. Especially with all of her secular invested interests.
WWE no longer doesn't run business like most places do.
Something we haven't talked about in a minute, and it's not part of this rundown, but I wanted to bring it up. Remember when Triple H said years ago that the WWE's open to doing business? And then Vince was like, no, we're not. Wonder if the WWE's still open for doing business.
Oh, 100%.
We'll have to see.
We're going to find out soon enough.
That's right. All right, Big Bad John, what do we got next on the docket today? Good old Shawn Michaels. All right, so this one's crazy. First of all, Jade Cargill is amazing. If you don't have an appreciation for how good she is right now and how much she's improved, you are missing out, because Jade Cargill is a phenomenal talent for AEW.
And the person who dethrones her for the TBS title will instantly be over.
Will be over as a mug.
It's how they should have built Wardlow, but they didn't.
Yeah, speaking of mugs and shots, here we have Jimmy and Jay Uso, who were not allowed to participate in the WWE's Canadian tour this past week, and that's going to continue on throughout the rest of the next 2 weeks, due to what people assume are the legal issues regarding was it Jay Uso's?
Yes, the DUI.
Jay Uso's recent string of DUIs. Canada has a very strict policy when you enter the country. They do extensive background checks. If you're a liability in any way, they don't allow you to enter the country because they protect their citizens in that regard. So it looks like the Usos are out in Canada, but hey, that's good news for Sami Zayn, because he got over like crazy on SmackDown, which we're going to talk to as soon as we get there.
Well, now, when you mention them not being able to go to Canada due to all of that, if it is a thing to do with the DUI and him not being able to leave the country, that might also play into Clash at the Castle.
Yes, we don't know what their legal standings are going to be right now because their work visas aren't approved yet because the event's in 3 weeks. So we will know more in the upcoming weeks as to whether or not the Usos even get to participate at the next WWE pay-per-view.
By the way, Jesus, Sami Zayn. Jesus.
Sami Zayn, baby. We're going to talk about it. Let's keep the ball rolling. Speaking of Canada, guess who got tapped to do the Canadian tour? The one and only Trish Stratus. Legendary status, Trish Stratus, as a Canadian citizen, will be working the house show circuit for TNA for the Canadian tour, as well as being tapped for Monday Night Raw.
Yes. Now, here's the deal with Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus is still in phenomenal shape.
Can still go.
She can still go.
She looks so good.
Is this going to be the wrestling
renaissance?
Proverbial bug bite?
Yeah.
Is this going to get her started back to think, well, maybe I can come back for this, and come back for this, and come back for this? With Triple H running the show now, there's no telling. She was always good in Triple H's... Triple H was always in her good graces.
Yeah.
She never had a problem with him. As a matter of fact, him and the Stephanie thing where he's teaching her the arm bar and Stephanie walks in and is like, what are you doing? Because she's been over in front of him. Triple H was a main factor, as well as Stephanie, for getting Trish Stratus out of the manager role and actually becoming a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
With the Linda McMahon and Vince McMahon making her bark like a dog on all fours and all this. I'm sure everyone remembers that's watching this. If not, history lesson, she barked on all fours.
She did.
Trish Stratus is probably, pound for pound, one of the greatest women wrestlers in the history of sports entertainment.
Completely agreed. She's one of the first women to ever main event Monday Night Raw.
Her and Lita.
I mean, having her on staff is great. Honestly, she'd be a great talent liaison for some of the female talent right now.
She'd be a hell of a producer.
So
for
her being tapped, who knows? It's a whole different ballgame. Speculation is running wild on all fronts. We're going to talk about everything going on at AEW and the speculation over there here in just a little bit. John Wagner poses a question. So, I've heard rumors Roman will not leave the Clash with either titles. Well, those are rumors. We don't know. We're going to find out in 3 weeks. 2 weeks.
That's the best thing about professional wrestling.
Yes, we do know about the bug bite.
We all know about that bug bite. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
We'll talk about a big fucking bug bite KB's got going on here in just a few minutes. You're damn right, Yanni. She is a canard. So there you go. You got that and maple syrup going for you.
Yep. Mostly that and a little bit of maple syrup.
And a little maple syrup. All right. What's next? Big Bad John, keep the ball rolling.
Oh, yes. Look at that.
So,
can we show a picture of two living penises on YouTube?
Well,
how that works?
I guess we're doing it now.
Well,
so news reports came out, obviously, this week that Vince McMahon had donated $5 million to one of Donald Trump's charities. This was directly prior to his election, but also post Vince McMahon's wife getting nominated for the cabinet position. We're not here to talk politics. This is only involving the financial situation that Vince McMahon has found himself in with undocumented monies. And, of course, you know, it goes without saying that as soon as Linda was nominated to the cabinet, the WWE then got the Duns filing to be a necessary business during COVID in Florida, which actually helped because AEW, under the same licensing, was able to be labeled one as well,
100%.
Which allowed them to keep operating. But
which allowed us to have wrestling.
Again, if Vince McMahon wants to make political donations, do it with your own money and not company money. And if you're doing it with your own money, or if you're doing it under the pretense of company money, make sure you report it. Because right now, as it stands, Vince McMahon is, I think, almost $20 million in the hole as far as
19.6.
19.6 is
0.5 or 6.
Is it 0.5 or 6? So, yeah.
19 and a half.
Yeah. Basically $20 million in the hole of undocumented monies for the last 20 years.
We can officially announce that the investigation into Vince McMahon, the investigation is finalized.
Oh, it's done.
It is closed.
So now we're going to be waiting for court proceedings and what's going to come to the reveal.
That was done about 3 days ago through, I saw it on Wrestle Talk, not a sponsor, but check them out. Not Talk, T-O-K, but Talk, T-A-L-K.
Yeah.
Through YouTube announced that the official findings have been closed, and now we're just waiting for the proceedings to see where we go from here.
I mean, every week it seems we're uncovering more money. I wonder what the top of the bill is going to look like. I wonder what the tab's going to come do.
I wonder what the money amounts look like that they're not going to find.
Right, that won't be disclosed. Or that's.
Let's be real here. $19.5 million is what they found.
Yeah. You know what
we're talking about in the 2000s is where most of this money has been found. This man has been running the WWE since what, 1979, 78, 79. How much money was between spent there and what we found has been spent?
Just then, I mean, before they went public, how much money was spent?
Money went further.
Huh?
Back then, money went further.
That is also true.
That's very true. It's crazy to think that McMahon in 95 and 96 was lamenting about the company losing $10 million.
Well, it sounds
and was
like
pulling out the water coolers and cutting out catering. And then while also complaining the company lost $10 million, the first time the company's ever lost money, the only year they've ever lost money, he spent $2 million that year on women. Which, hey, I'm a women and booze guy. I get it. But you can't be like, oh, the company's tanking, kill everything.
From what I understand, going off...
Take this, be quiet about it.
Going off Max's comment of money went further back then, I'm pretty sure that McMahon's money went for a lot of things further. Hey, I'm not making it up. It's out there, find it. All I'm saying.
All right. What is our next...
You did cover that it was pushed for a charity as well, right?
Yes. Well, it was donated to one of his charities, but we all know, if you understand how corporate bargaining charities work, it's basically you can access that money with a tax exemption because it's not fundamentally a charity, because you can pay out anybody you want to from a charity perspective. So, like, if you're an unethical charity, you can take donations. Let's say I raise $10,000, right? But then I name myself as an office officiant who has to designate those funds. I could pay myself $9,999 and give the $1 to whatever purpose it was I claimed it for, and it's entirely legal. There is no corporate loophole that protects the charity from being misallocated, which is why Red Cross came under fire back in '98 with misallocation of funds during Hurricane Katrina. FEMA had several lawsuits about misallocating funds because they were paying executives it goes without saying that while he gave $5 million to one of Donald Trump's charities, he gave $5 million to Donald Trump.
I would also like to...
Why can't we charge the White House with that?
Well, because we could, in theory, if you voted for congressmen who would write the laws that would then penalize themselves for dipping into their own charity funds, which is never going to happen.
I would also like to point out the fact of the contract deal for the Battle of the Billionaires, which is where this money went. The contract stated that Vince McMahon couldn't shave Donald Trump's head even if Bobby Lashley died
in the ring.
In the ring, it wouldn't happen.
So let's give a little preface to that. WrestleMania 21 was the Battle of the Billionaires. Vince McMahon versus Donald Trump. This is way before Donald Trump had any political, aspirations or whatever. He was just a keynote billionaire in the corporate world.
He was promoting that show.
The Apprentice.
Yeah.
So they do the Battle of the Billionaires. Each one has a representative. Vince McMahon, the bad guy, gets Umaga, Intercontinental Champion. Donald Trump, the good guy, gets Bobby Lashley, ECW World Champion. The stipulation of the match is that the losing billionaire has to have their head shaved. Well, in the contract, not understanding that the business is a fucking work, Donald Trump has written in the contract, no, it fucking wasn't. WrestleMania 21 is when the Battle of the Billionaires happened.
The Hollywood year?
Yeah, isn't it? Wait,
no,
is he right? Is it 23?
It is 23.
I can't be, hold on, I can't be wrong about that.
I think you are, bro.
Hold on. Let's just look.
I'm pretty sure it's 23 and happened in Chicago.
Hold on. It was WrestleMania 23. I'll be damned.
21 was
I
Hollywood.
thought it was 21.
You will indeed, sir.
I was wrong. John,
Good
win.
catch.
You know what? I'm going to put your name in the donation pool for the cup just for correcting me. Thank
Sounds
you very
fair enough.
much. Because
Sounds
that
fair
doesn't
enough.
happen often, but since you managed, you know what? From now on, if we get a fact wrong and you correct us, you get your one fucking token in the donation fee. I already said you're right. Yeah, listen to what lag. Never mind.
Yes.
Anyway,
lag.
so WrestleMania 23. Then blah blah blah. Donald Trump, not understanding the business is a work, has the contract that they signed for his appearance fee,
Yes.
or for his appearance for the event, and his payout was that in no way, shape, or form can Donald Trump's head be shaved.
Yeah, even if Bobby Lashley died.
Yeah, even if Bobby Lashley dropped dead, there was no way, which was never going to happen.
Well,
anyway.
he wanted to cover the fact of the plain and simple fact that he didn't want Vince McMahon to somehow fuck him on national television.
Which would have never happened.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Vince McMahon.
Yeah, well, that's
ratings is ratings, regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, sing my praises. Okay.
All right,
take
pal.
his name out of the bucket.
Everybody gets, even a fucking broken clock's right twice a day.
The sun shines on a dog's ass some days.
That's right. Oh,
Anyway,
let's keep this ball rolling in this very Shawn Michaels heavy episode today.
that's right.
One of my favorite things to have ever happened.
Mine too.
17 years ago today, we watched from the living room at Mom's house in Benton, Illinois, as Shawn Michaels wrestled Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam in what is known
I just rewatched this video. I wish
So
we
good.
could play the video.
as
know, right?
I wish we could play the
greatest oversell job in the history of professional
Shawn
wrestling.
Michaels should have won an Oscar for his performance.
So
He really should
We'll
have.
play a little inside.
Y'all are out there tell me that I oversold when I was in the ring. Yeah,
and nothing fucking compared to Michaels.
Suck it.
So to give a little background, Michaels and Hogan are set to do this match at SummerSlam in 2005. It comes off the tails of Shawn Michaels turning heel and feeding Hogan a super kick. They build an incredible story, tailoring how Hulk Hogan was the greatest star of his generation, Shawn Michaels the greatest star of his generation. They never met one-on-one. Shawn Michaels gives a great bit of history about when he was just broke into the WWE. Hogan had his boot on everyone's neck, held everybody down, that Shawn Michaels couldn't be the man until Hulk Hogan left, which was true.
yes.
Shawn Michaels really didn't get a fair shake at Brett until Hogan was already gone for WCW. That's not an untrue fact.
That's fact.
Anyway, comes down to nut cutting time, and they still can't figure out who's going to be the guy in this match, who's going to go over, who's going to win. And Hogan, being the ever uprising politician that he is, absolutely made sure that in no way Shawn Michaels was going to beat him. Now, Hogan claims that it's because he wanted to do a series of matches with Shawn Michaels, which was entertained and introduced, but when it came time for Hogan to do the job back for Michaels, Hogan decided he didn't want to do it anymore.
Yes.
That being said, going into this match, Shawn Michaels decided that, well, if he wasn't going to get the match that he wanted out of Hulk Hogan, by God, he was going to get the match that he wanted out of Hulk Hogan. And then basically for 14 minutes, flipped, flopped, and flew all over that ring with every offensive strike Hogan fucking threw at him. He would bump, fall out of the ring, roll to his feet.
Well, and here's the deal. He decided when all this took place, when they were talking about the beginning stages of the match, Michaels wanted a good guy versus good guy.
Yeah.
And Hogan was the one that's like, no, I want 97
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels was like, 97 Michaels would eat you alive.
Yeah. Also goes without saying that at the time, Michaels on Raw was one of the top baby faces and was at the tailor part of his career where he'd found God, he didn't do drugs anymore, he didn't want to do those things that he was doing in 96 and 97, but was pretty much forced his hand, and so we got the greatest in-ring performance
also
of all time.
Also the greatest segment in my mind.
The Larry King
with
segment.
the Larry King and the brother. Shawn
Michaels comes out dressed as Hulk Hogan, continuously references how old he is, says brother every other word. The entire build is just fantastic. Actually, there's a huge bit on this in one of Shawn Michaels' DVD releases that came out, I think, in like 2009.
Yeah, the last one.
When they were still releasing DVD packages.
Yeah.
Where they go.
You can find it on Netflix.
Yeah, where it goes in depth, and Shawn talks about his just fetid optimism in regard to this match. If you have the damn network, or you have Peacock or YouTube or whatever, do yourself a favor today. Go online, watch Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan SummerSlam 2005. Because
fantastic.
it's just good old-fashioned stupid.
And here's the deal. Michaels, while it was so overacted, it was crazy, did it really well.
Yeah.
He sold for Hogan really well.
Legitimately.
The one where he takes the... he throws him into the ropes, he comes back, and I think Hogan hits him with a punch or something like that, and he spills between the ropes to the floor as Hogan's throwing his shirt on him on the outside.
Yeah.
Hilarious. The clothesline over the top rope with the tuck and roll afterwards.
Nothing beats him straddling the rope and Hogan giving those boots, and Michaels with every boot jumping higher and higher and higher, bouncing off the turnbuckle.
You start seeing that look on Hogan's face of
absolute disgust.
The best one's the big boot where he bumps, stands up, runs in a circle, and then falls back down.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Don't worry, John. We're going to address that at the end of the show. So stick around, because we're going to have a lot to talk about. Yeah. All right.
Quit jumping the gun, John. You do this every week.
So before we jump into This Week in Wrestling, I feel like it's a good time to go ahead and throw out our social media.
Oh, yes.
Make sure we're doing all the plugs and the shilling. So you can, as always, you can find us over on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. You can follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can now follow us on TikTok at Pro Wrestling Throwdown 1. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. And as always, you can check us out over at Streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown, where you can access our merch store. Over there right now, we got cups, we got bags, we got fanny packs, we got yoga pants, we got all kinds of stuff. We're working on sneakers, hats.
If you can't find it, let us know, and we'll see if we can get it made for you.
There is a new line of merchandise that we introduced last week.
That is coming soon.
The rendering is still in process, but very soon there's going to be a very limited run of women's undergarments with my face on them.
Yes.
So if that's something you're interested in buying as a joke, or if you want to wear them around the house, remind you of me, that's just fine too.
I'm wearing a pair of the.
Not yet. That'll be the next limited run with your face on them.
I'm wearing a pair of the prototypes right now, and they're actually rather comfy.
He's got the cotton ones.
I do.
And also, don't forget, we are currently still in our donation pool for the month of August. The winner of the donation pool this month gets a cup. For that, every dollar you donate, if you choose to donate, we're not looking for your donations at all, but if you choose to donate to the site, every dollar you donate gets your name entered into the contest. Also, your name gets entered if you buy something, and from now on, if you correct us on something, your name gets entered too. So all of that being said, at the end of the month, we'll do a drawing, and the winner gets a cup this month, and you're going to get... well, as soon as they're ready, I hope you do. And then the winner will get a cup, and we'll also get a notarized piece that says it came from us, that's going to be autographed, so we don't physically alter the piece you're getting. So check that out over at the website. Check out our merch. Thank you guys for all your participation. Thank you for all of your orders. We always appreciate that. Every single dollar you donate goes right back into the show here, which brings us to a sponsor we actually neglected to mention for like the last 3 weeks. R&R Digital Studios are the guys who updated our show. If you remember our show before, it was just the two of us and then later the three of us in front of a webcam. We didn't have any of these graphics. We didn't have the slides. We didn't have the music. We didn't have the intro videos. None of that. We decided today we're going to update. We're going to get a new intro thing. We're going to be adding to an episode relatively soon. But R&R Digital Studios are the guys who hooked us up. Let them hook you up. They will have a Facebook launch soon. I think we're still talking about that. But if you have a podcast or a vlog or something you need video edited, he's got great rates. He's the guy to get through. You can get a hold of him through us right now until his website's up and running. So all of that aside, sponsorship shilling, everything aside, everything out the way, let's talk about this week in wrestling, which was one of the best all-around weeks in professional wrestling we've seen in a long freaking time.
All right, what we got?
Let's jump right into Monday Night Raw. This week we're going to go in order. We're going to talk about Raw, Dynamite, then SmackDown. So Raw, killer freaking promo between Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre.
Oh, 100%.
Just to kick the show off. McIntyre ultimately saying in the end, we're both wrestlers. We're in a wrestling ring. Let's just freaking wrestle.
And Vince McMahon passed out at home.
The W word was banned forever, and now we get to say it whenever the hell we want.
Not only were both those words banned, but Drew McIntyre used them in the same fucking sentence.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, we're wrestlers in a wrestling ring. Let's
just wrestle. Yeah.
Yes.
He hit it every single way, and then, of course, they had a killer match.
Yes.
McIntyre's on fire right now. Fucking Kevin Owens is on fire. I did like the Kevin Owens. I did like the McIntyre bit. I don't care if you're the prize fighter. I don't care if you're the pro wrestler. I don't care who you are. Let's just get into business right now.
Yep.
It's looking great.
Also, the talking of the news reports of his bad back and him being like, that's because I've carried this business for the last 2 years.
McIntyre's on fire, man.
That Roman Reigns doesn't deserve the championship belts because he's never around.
Yeah.
That WWE deserves a champion that's defending on house shows. I think he was like, house shows, live shows, pay-per-views, backstage, doesn't matter. That's the deal. And then we've got Kevin Owens coming out and being a little more serious now after his run with Ezekiel, Elias's brother, and Elrod, his father, and the child, and they all look like the same fucking person.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Papa Elias and Ezekiel's daddy was getting busy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So funny.
Some of the ugliest friggin' people I've ever seen.
You my boy, Drew.
You my boy, Drew.
You the boy, Drew.
Before we get to the next slide, we'll cover a couple things that happened that we didn't prepare slides for every single match. We just wanted to get the big points out of the way because we got a long show. Judgment Day again with their assault on the Mysterios. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's shit or get off the pot. I like the Judgment Day. I'm tired of seeing them feud with the Mysterios. I want them to go somewhere else. We saw Alexa Bliss and Asuka defeat Drew Dopp and ASH.
Yep.
For the women's tag team tournament. For the women's tag team titles going to the semis. And then we saw a killer match between Miz and Ciampa against Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
Which, what a fucking tag match. And Mustafa Ali, he had that lull where he was trying to get out of his contract because he got tired of working with Vince. But look at how much he's been featured and look at how good those matches have been since he's been back on TV.
Agreed.
So good. Talent.
Yes, John, I think when he comes back, he'll be Elias as well.
Yeah. Riddle showed up and attacked Seth Rollins. I'm loving that feud. Hopefully we actually get the match soon.
The promo to that was great because he was on the thing and he's like, if you weren't in your mom's basement, you know, maybe you'd come out here and say it to my face. Yeah. And Riddle was like, well, it just so happens that I'm not in my mom's basement.
Yeah.
And then the chase through the crowd, fantastic.
That match, when they finally get it off and on TV, is going to be so damn good.
Ghostly
Nightmare, welcome! Says, I'd like to know what they're doing with Dexter Lumis. It's confusing. So here's the deal. They're making Lumis look like an interloper.
No drink, no smoke.
They're making it look like he's from the outside. They're arresting him at every turn. They're kicking him out of the building at every turn. While it is confusing, you're wondering about it.
Well, and here's the deal. We aren't covering NXT this week because nothing really predominant had happened.
But if you were privy to NXT prior to Dexter Lumis' release, on the show he married Indy Hartwell.
Well, on Heatwave this week, Indy Hartwell gets a letter from a backstage person, and as she opens the letter, there's a drawing on the back of it of Dexter Lumis carrying her, and it says something like
Dexter and Indy forever or something.
Dexty forever,
yeah,
or something like that. So they're pushing his eventual NXT return
or her eventual come up
or her eventual main
Dexter.
Roster
they're he's an interloper. He's trying to get into the business. I did notice, though, that every single time he shows up, it's during an AJ Styles match.
Yes.
So, if they're going to bring him back against AJ Styles, take my money.
Yes.
Speaking
100%.
of AJ Styles, another hellacious United States title match this week for the second week in a row. Bobby Lashley is getting all the props he deserves. The title's being featured. We've got. I want to know who the hell he wrestles in 2 weeks.
Right.
I'm invested every Monday for the past month to know what they're doing with the United States title.
It will also be interesting to see how the United States title plays in Cardiff.
Yeah.
Being that it's overseas.
Yeah, the U.S. title.
If the U.S. title is going to be looked at as Bobby Lashley being a heel or not.
Ooh.
I didn't think about that.
Neither did I, but that might get...
Because Sheamus is going to get his praises sang for being...
Oh, my God.
Wait.
We'll talk about it as soon as we get there.
So, I mean, where do you go with that?
Yeah.
Do you play it like Canada plays, most of the good guys they boo?
Right.
Who's up for that?
We don't
know yet. They haven't established the United States title competitor.
I'm going to say, if anybody, probably The Miz.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Probably The
He'd
Miz.
be the perfect buffer. If you wanted to make sure they got a heel reception, would have to be The Miz.
He's been interfering in AJ's matches and stuff during
Yeah.
the U.S. title. It would make sense to put The Miz up against
that's
Bobby
a perfect
Lashley.
call. And
Because it's going to be a one-off pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's something that hasn't happened before. It's like a special, kind of like when they did Brock's Beast in the East.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that where it's just like, or what is it called? Crown Jewel?
Yeah.
And stuff where it's just like a one-off pay-per-view where titles are defended, but nothing really ever takes place, except I think we're going to see some major shit.
I agree. What about Max Dupree? Fuck him.
They need to drop the gimmick and let him be LA Knight
Let him be LA Knight, yeah. So let's talk about the main event of Monday Night Raw. Austin Theory puts the Money in the briefcase up against Dolph Ziggler in one of the best pound for pound, well-spotted, well-placed main event matches. It's been on Monday Night Raw for a while. They made the briefcase feel important. They got a ton of work out of Ziggler. They made Theory look good. I mean,
dude, that match was so back and forth with so many falsies in it that it was
the
so
mystery hand.
entertaining.
The mystery hand was Dexter Lumis's leather glove. It's Lumis's hand. It wasn't Bray Wyatt's.
Yes. But again, where I was going, it's so intricate in the falsies between Dolph and Austin Theory that I was on the edge of my seat the whole match.
It's, once again, Triple H recognizes the value in Dolph Ziggler. He was always a Dolph Ziggler guy. He put him in NXT, made him NXT champion for a short run to get him reestablished. Now he's being featured on Raw. I don't fucking doubt that within a year or so, maybe two, Dolph Ziggler gets a legitimate run at the tail end of his career as world champion.
Yanni, we're going to get to that in our SmackDown section.
Yep, as soon as we get there, big dog.
But again, with Dolph Ziggler is what I would consider, what many people considered Shelton Benjamin at one time.
The gold standard.
I consider him the 1-2-3 kid.
Yeah.
Of the WWE.
If you can't have a good match with Dolph Ziggler, you can't have a good match, period.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Dolph Ziggler's on his way back to being relevant and a threat.
And a threat was the important part.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. Dolph Ziggler has bided his time.
Like, if they put him in the spotlight and they keep Rude as the guy to have his back, and they give him that little heel taste where like, it can work on the main level. They did it in NXT. Fucking keep making Dolph Ziggler
Also,
important.
you could take Rude turning on Dolph Ziggler and make a main level
yes,
promo
you
out of
can,
it.
baby. All right, let's move on. Then that's everything we got for Monday Night Raw. Now it's time to talk about AEW Dynamite. And what a fucking opening promo this was between these two fucking animals on the mic. First and foremost, let's talk about some of the rumors we keep hearing circulating on over at AEW.
Well, before we get into the rumors, I think it's very poignant to say that yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of CM Punk's return.
He returned 1 year ago on Rampage to one of the greatest pops in professional wrestling history. One of the greatest reception of professional wrestling history. And to this date, a year later, he's already world champ.
Yes.
So that's got to count for something. A lot of the rumors going on right now is that, where do we start? Tony Khan is unhinged right now. He's barking craziness at the At the announcers, he...
As we covered last week, one of the main level talents, we don't have a name, still haven't got a name yet.
Yeah, threatened to walk
Tony
out.
caught aside and was like, listen, you need to calm down or I walk.
Yeah, well, it was one of the main level producers.
Producers, I'm
So
sorry.
it was Arn Anderson, is my absolute bet. Because no one's going to sit and throw a fit around Arn Anderson if Arn Anderson don't want to be sat around and have a thrown fit. I agree, Nightmare. I mean, it's a fresh coat of paint. It's necessary. Don't get me wrong. I love the whole Money in the Bank briefcase concept, but I think they should reinvent it and do something new to it. Just a thought. I agree, but right now I don't like the situation it's in. It could use a fresh coat of paint, but honestly, they're tailored around a pay-per-view, and it's exciting to see when and where the winner is going to cash in.
If you wanted to up it in any way, I say make the briefcase a belt.
Yeah. So one of the other big rumors going on at AEW is that CM Punk went into business for himself.
Yes.
By calling out Adam Page at the beginning of his promo. Adam Page wasn't in the building. Punk said something about a rematch. If you wanted a rematch, come and get it right now.
When he didn't show up, he was like, that's not
cowboy shit, that's coward shit. And then deadpan to the camera and said the apology needs to be as loud and as public as the disrespect. Which insinuates that the promo that Adam Page cut on Punk before Punk took the belt, when it was rumored that Page, what he said, Punk wasn't cool with, about how he's all about workers' rights, and they haven't seen that, and that Punk, now the reports are that Punk is responsible for Cabana getting pulled out of the Dark Order.
Doesn't surprise me.
Doesn't surprise me either. I mean, here's the deal. You don't have to like him, and I was one of Punk's biggest detractors. He is the biggest drawing money star in AEW.
Well, the thing with Colt Cabana, we all know the history of the Colt
Yep.
Cabana situation. Here's the deal. Before we got all of this information with the CM Punk problems backstage, I had mentioned on a past episode of Pro Wrestling Throwdown here that the entire roster stood up for Colt Cabana to keep his job.
Well, and now he's getting moved to Ring of Honor. He's going to be a full-time Ring of Honor guy. He's not going to be in the way of Punk, and frankly, they could always visit this later and make a hell of a fucking program.
They can make a lot of money out of it.
A lot of money out of it. But the promo that we get to between Punk and Moxley is Punk just running down Jon Moxley, saying some of the best one-liners I've ever heard. One of them was, Jon Moxley's never been the top guy in the company. Before I got here, he was, top 3, as a matter of fact. He's the third guy in the group that he's in right now, the third best guy in his group right now.
Which seems to be a recurring
thing in his career. Shot on Eddie Kingston, was like, Eddie Kingston's the third best Eddie I've ever been in the ring with, and the second best Kingston. Neither of these guys are great. I'm the champ, blah, blah, blah. Moxley comes out, responds in kind with, Punk's going to drop a pipe bomb. Everybody duck. And then the best line he gave to Punk was when he said, you think you're the best guy in wrestling, you're not even the best guy in catering.
Also, his comment of, I like that you sit there claiming that you're champion when, what did he say? How did he put it? Hold on. It'll come to me. It was such a good moment. Oh, when he's like, when especially since the only reason you're here is because you ran out of money.
And then CM Punk's line when Moxley says, I'm the heart and soul of AEW, and Punk says, that's fine, you be the heart and soul. I'll be the dollars and cents.
And then, of course, Moxley's like, we can do this right now, gets up in his face.
Yeah.
And Punk's like, yeah, I could fight you right now,
but I'm just afraid to bleed all over me. Great heated promo. They revisit it later in the show with Moxley coming out to the ring and calling him out again. They get into a brawl twice on the show.
The great part was the kiss.
Yeah. Which reflects the Effie thing.
Moxley reaches out as they're nose to nose and kisses CM Punk on the lips. And when he kisses him, they just start throwing some of the stiffest punches I have ever seen. If they work those punches, they worked them real well.
If you look at the history, Jon Moxley made his WWE debut with the Shield on behalf of CM Punk.
Yes.
They later on went into a feud. As a matter of fact, the last time that CM Punk and Jon Moxley wrestled was when Jon Moxley was Dean Ambrose, and CM Punk shit himself in the ring in 2020.
Ghostly asked, do you actually think CM Punk would walk away from AEW?
No.
Depends.
They had all these reports, too, that they didn't know Punk was going to show up and blah, blah, blah. Again, even if that's the case, Punk is making more money now than he was ever going to make, and he would never go back to the WWE even if Triple H
wouldn't want him.
Well, I'm not saying Triple H wouldn't want him. I'm saying that he probably would never go back just because he doesn't want to be there. Right now, if he's going to do any more wrestling, he's going to stay in AEW till he's done, and then he'll just be done.
Well, and here's the deal with WWE. I say a lot about the building of new talent.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Of course.
Triple H realizes that.
But
you have your spots where he's bringing in people like Trish and stuff, but he's not bringing in anyone from the past in main level roles.
Well, and that's
why bring Punk in?
That's the thing. What benefit does the WWE get from it?
What are you gonna do? You gonna bring him in and job him to everybody? Because I mean that's what would happen.
Exactly. So no, I don't think Punk's ever going to leave. More on the AEW front. Some quick notes here. We got.
Dang, look at this gray.
I know you're getting old, buddy. We got the excuse me, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Garcia 2 out of 3 falls match, which ended with Bryan Danielson picking up the win, finally closing out their program
with the LaBelle
with
lock.
the LaBelle lock.
In peace to
the cool thing is that
LaBelle.
Garcia's been part of Chris Jericho's faction right now.
Yes.
And their faction is tailored all around the heels being sports entertainers.
Yes.
After Garcia ends the match with Danielson, they have the moment to beat in the ring where they're looking at each other, and the fans start cheering, "You're a wrestler. You're a wrestler." And then the Blackpool Combat Club extends their, not invitation, but extends their respect to Daniel Garcia, which prompts a promo from Chris Jericho and the rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society later on. Hey, we got to talk. Are you in this? Or are you with them? Are you with us? Blah, blah, blah. Adding to the faction warfare between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Jericho Appreciation Society.
To speak on that for a second, the Jericho Appreciation Society's members 2.0.
2.0, Jack Swagger.
Just renewed their contracts for an extension.
They got the extension, yes.
Just
so
2 days
around.
ago. So they're going to be around for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. We got Steamboat slapping one of the members of 2.0.
Yeah.
Let me see. Jericho went on Twitter after the Hollywood Blondes match with the Guns and basically said something to the effect of, "It's really nice to see all of the guys who carried this company during the pandemic getting buried on live TV."
Yeah.
There's another point of contention that Jericho's unhappy with the direction of the company right now because of the featuring of Cesaro, because of the featuring of the guys who weren't there that were holding the company down, which isn't an unfair assessment at all. During the pandemic, Jericho worked every fucking night on commentary, on TV, in matches to make the company run. They tapped every guy available. They used that time to build these stars, and now we're not getting to see a lot of them. Which, that's the transition. Once you start making money, you've got to keep the money.
Yes.
And how do you keep the money? You hire the guys who are going to make you the money. It's just the evolution of the business. Look at every territory who hot-shotted off the back of one guy, and then that guy would leave 6 months later when they were bringing Ric Flair in to main event the Silverdome.
To answer Ghostly's question, he said, "What happened to MJF? I know he wanted to be fired."
You'll find out in September.
Here's the deal. Either A, it's a work.
It's a work.
Well, hold on. Let's play both sides of the coin. First, either it's a work, and he's going to get the biggest reception
when he returns. When he returns it All Out and costs Punk the championship or something.
Or B, saying that it is not a work. This is an old school mentality in professional wrestling that when someone is wanting to leave or something, you take them off TV to kill their popularity and their run.
Yep.
So either A, they're holding him off for this big to-do of coming back out of nowhere, or B, they're trying to keep him off TV to kill his heat.
But what they don't understand about doing that is if it's not a work and it's legitimate, his contract will expire soon. If that happens, Triple H is running the show and Cody Rhodes is over there in the land of pro wrestling now. I'm just saying, if it's not a work, they're doing that to themselves. Hey, Chelsea, welcome to the stream. So, I mean, play ball. But you're going to find out in September when he returns it All Out. That's my guess.
Well, here's the deal. Wherever MJF decides to hang his boots from here on in, it's going to be a wild ride when he comes back.
Yeah. We also got Jungle Boy challenging Christian Cage for All Out.
Yeah.
And then the big takeaway from the main event of the night,
which was not as surprising, but
the return of Kenny Omega. Look, I've said it before. I'll say it again and again and again. I can't stand the fucking guy, and I can't stand the Young Bucks. I didn't like him. I didn't like the Young Bucks when I fucking knew him in person. I don't like him fucking now. I've never met Omega. I don't know him, but I've never liked his work. But absolutely not one fucking person can say that pop he got, the reception he got when he returned, was anything other than monumental, and they can't say the motherfucker didn't show up to work. Because that match was killer. Those luchadors and the Bucks and Omega fucking tore the house down.
Kenny looked good.
Looked healthy. Looked in shape. He missed one mark, but he covered it up when he went to do the roll forward, flip up onto the top rope for the moonsault. When he rolled forward, he busted his ass. Instead of getting hot about it, he just laughed it out, tagged in one of the Bucks, covered it well, and looked personable. The dude is back in fucking top form, and that means business all around because we're going to get Red Dragon and Adam Cole against Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, which is going to tie up all the stories from the Bullet Club. Eventually, we'll get the Bucks and Omega versus Punk and FTR, which is going to tie up the best in the world conversation.
Well, and here's the deal. I think that something that has happened in the last month or so that's being overlooked is the fact that Gallows and Anderson are no longer under Impact contracts. We can see them come back as a part of the Bullet Club, or we can see them come back as a part of the Elite. And then you see where their part lies. If you ask me, I know they're a great tag team, and don't get me wrong. Sure. I love Gallows and Anderson. Have one go one side, one go the other.
Have Carl Anderson join Red Dragon, and have Luke Gallows join the Bucks and Omega. That's how
100% would be awesome storytelling. As far as John saying could be in the Casino Battle Royal for MJF, that would be a perfect scenario.
That would be the best way to bring it back.
However, another perfect scenario would be to have the Young Bucks and Omega win the Trios titles, and then Kenny Omega win the Casino Battle Royal.
True. Make him the number one contender for Punk, because that match is going to be that match is going to be on the marquee. We didn't talk about this beforehand, so they moved the timetable up for the AEW Unification match. That's going to happen next week on Dynamite. It's not going to happen in the main event of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we think there's going to be a fuck-off finish that'll go back to Dynamite, but what happens if we get a definitive winner? What's the main event going to look like for All Out?
Well, you could also run the fact that the winner of the Casino Battle Royal comes back later at All Out and cashes in for the title.
Or we're going to have Adam Page accept that rematch challenge.
That's where I see it going. Yeah. That's what I want to see personally. Because here's the deal. I have always been the biggest detractor for Adam Page.
Has never been an Adam Page
Never been a fan. However, his stuff, being able to show levity with the Dark Order stuff that he does... his in-ring work is hard to deny of him being one of the best in AEW.
He's getting there.
He's up there.
Okay.
He's a hand.
Yeah.
He's a damn good
He's nothing if not a hand, for sure.
But here's the deal. With the Punk talking about the apology and blah, 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 you could also go into the storyline realm, if this is a storyline, of Adam Page going, I'll take that rematch that you offered, and if you can beat me in Chicago,
I'll give you the apology
for the title. I'll apologize live on pay-per-view and tell you that I'm wrong and that I'm sorry. But if I can beat you and I take that title from you, you have to apologize
to me. It sells. It sells. It's real. It's got gravity to it. I agree. They watch the show. They know. Hey, speaking of watching the show, if you haven't liked the stream yet, please do us a favor. Hop on over and do that. And while you're at it, like in this stream, make sure to find us over on Facebook.com Facebook.com. Who the hell? Over on Facebook at Facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can now find us on TikTok at ProWrestlingThrowdown1. And you can also check out Streamlabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown, where you can access our merch store. We got cups, we got fanny packs, we got backpacks, we got notebooks, we got all sorts of stuff coming out. We got this week's featured piece of merch is a coffee cup, which is also featured in our donation raffle. If you donate to the site, for every $1 you donate, you get an entry put in. For every piece of merchandise you purchase, you get one entry, and from now on, if you correct us live on the show, you get your name entered as well.
Now, if you do make a purchase, that's not just one entry. However much money you spend,
we will match it per
dollar.
Yeah. Also, we are introducing a limited line of merchandise for women's undergarments that will have my face on them. So check out that when the rendering is done and it's ready. I'm not going to do
like that.
I might do that.
You got it. That's got it.
All right, fine. So yeah, make sure to check out our website, check out the merch store. We appreciate all the donations. We appreciate all the purchases. Every single dollar goes back into the show here. Would also be remiss not to mention our number one sponsor right now. That's R&R Studios. They're the ones who gave the show the facelift. They're the ones who gave us the music, the graphics, the cut-ins, the videos. They did a great job updating our show, giving us a brand new look. We're still updating it every day. We'll be implementing a new intro thing here in a couple of weeks once we get it done. So
we would also like to thank Relic Hunters for their $10 donation last week.
Yep. Thank you so much for that. So keep on keeping on. Make sure you also tell your friends. Share us if you see us. Share the post. Promote the show. Every little bit helps.
Also, with the likes, please, yes, like you were saying, smash that like button.
Yeah.
The more likes and the more views we get gives the algorithm of YouTube the idea that says, hey, this show is something that people want to watch.
Yep.
We want to make this show tailored to you guys.
Yep.
We come in here every Sunday. Sometimes it's a nighttime on a Thursday. It depends on what, but we're here. And we want to make this show as interactive for you and as tailored to the wrestling fan.
Yep.
Not only the diehard wrestling fan, but the casual wrestling fan as well.
And also people who want to be introduced to wrestling. We try to be as We try to do everything from talking about the history of pro wrestling. We highlight the traditions of wrestling. We talk about the modern stuff. We talk about the old stuff. So if there's something you're interested in, we're your go-to one-stop shop.
If there's something that you want to hear us talk about or cover,
hey,
get a hold of us.
That's a big one. So every week we field 5 questions at the end of the show about wrestling. We have all these lines open about communication. If there's something you want us to talk about, if there's a segment you want us to do, hit us up on the social media so we can do that for you. We'll take the entire week. We'll plan it out. I mean, we love to do that, and we love to be those
birthday shout out.
Birthday shout outs, those are important.
Yeah,
we got a whole segment dedicated to birthdays.
We don't do Cameo, so that was something that was asked to me.
Or Twitch
not that long ago, or Twitch anymore, or for the fact Patreon. We don't do Patreon yet. But something was asked to me.
What about OnlyFans?
Maybe. Something was asked to me about a week ago.
Don't drink, don't smoke.
That I'm going to bring up live on the camera right now. Someone was.
Hey! Thank you. Welcome to the show.
What is that?
Fat Laces Picola. I have no idea how that is pronounced, but thank you. They just came across the show. Thank you
for tuning in.
Sure, wait, they can't comment unless they're a subscriber, right?
Right.
Wait, so we got a new subscriber.
Is that correct, John?
Was that?
They have to subscribe.
Yeah, they have to subscribe.
Right?
Yep.
Well, thank you very much for your patronage. We enjoy having you here. What
Yeah.
we were going to talk about is I had someone ask if one of the monthly things that we do for a donation thing.
No, we're still sitting at 203.
Can we save this for one?
Yeah, please be sure to
one of our questions for later.
Collect any figures or belts. Sometimes I have several different wrestling figures, stuff like that.
He's the collector.
You want to talk about that later?
Hold on just a second.
I know that's a big conversation.
Fat Laces from Pensacola. All right, awesome.
Collecting.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about 100% nice.
Hey, Jen.
Here's the deal. Someone asked me. They was like, "Do you guys do personalized recordings for the month of September for the dollar donations and for the donation contest? The winner who is drawn out of the cup will set up something where we can record audio for a message to you, personal message,
Hell yeah,
video message, or we'll even, if you're applicable and we can get to you or send you the MP3, we'll do a personal phone message
yeah.
for your voicemail.
I'm down with that.
Personalized message of whatever kind. We'll get down. We'll pick the winner.
If you want me to get if you want me to get a little drunk and yell about Dave Meltzer on your voicemail, I'll do that too.
I had several people ask about that, and it's perfectly good. We'll do that after the coffee cup.
Yeah.
To where we will do a personalized message, whether you want it through video, audio, whatever.
Caleb will call you in the voice of the Macho Man.
I can do that.
We can do what we can write what you want us to say, and we'll hammer it out. That'll be this September after the coffee cup pool. That's what we'll do for the month of September.
Sounds good to me. Merch, baby, merch. All the merch. All right, so let's talk about Smackdown.
All right,
this
let's
week,
get into
which
Smackdown.
Again, we keep talking about how great this week was. Smackdown also delivered.
It really did.
We opened up with another fire promo from Drew McIntyre. He's the #1 contender going on over to Clash at the Castle in the UK.
Yes.
And a lot of talk. McIntyre might be walking out champ.
Yeah, it's not unheard
of. Opened up with the shitty promo from Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's in my notes, but we're talking about this.
We'll do this one first. As far as, yes, I collect belts and figures, and I'm a big collector of all things wrestling. Drew McIntyre coming out. Roman Reigns comes out first. He's like, I'm the champ. I'm not here a lot. But Drew, you talking about you carrying this company on your back and everything. Anyone who believes that is a liar.
Yeah.
Anyone who says that anyone other than him is the main event, you're a liar.
Thank you for tuning in, Bethany.
Thank you for tuning in.
Colette, I love you,
baby. And if Drew McIntyre says that he's anything other than just second best, Drew's a liar.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't have to go face to face with anybody because he's the tribal chief. And then, of course, Drew McIntyre comes in the ring. He's like, here's the deal. You're always running around, but you're right. I can't talk to you face to face because you're never here.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but you either have Paul Heyman backstage politicking for you, or you have the Usos out here doing your physical work. He said, but I don't see the Usos. I don't see Paul Heyman. So how about we settle this right now and let's just start fighting. And then, of course, Roman drills him.
Yeah.
They start getting into it. He gets the better hand on Roman. goes for the Claymore. Sami Zayn,
still prettiest kick in the business,
from out of nowhere, eats
the
yet
Claymore.
another Claymore kick.
Hardest working dude in professional wrestling, we say it every week, is Sami Zayn, bar none.
The MVP of this week in WWE was Sami Zayn.
He was the MVP last week. The dude is just killing it.
And everything that Kenny Omega's pop and reception was for him coming back was dull.
Sammy got a
compared to
huge
Sami
ovation in Canada.
And here's the deal: that fatal 5-way match that they had,
yes, which we're going to talk
which
about.
we'll talk about
directly.
here in a minute. The way they worked it, we'll talk about that. Here's the deal: the promo that he cut with Roman Reigns about getting an ear with the Chief, and him being like, "Jay's always like, no one even told me thank you for eating a Claymore and saving Jay. All he does is yell at me." And Roman Reigns is like, "You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
He's terrible, isn't he? Like, he's family and I love him, but he's got to calm down." And this, that, and the other. And then Roman's like, "Hold on a second, I'll be right back." And he excuses himself, I guess, to go take a piss.
Yeah.
And his phone starts ringing, and Sammy's like, "Roman, your phone's ringing." He goes, "Well, who is it?" And he goes, "You're never going to believe this. It's Jay Uso." And Roman's like, "So answer it." So Sami Zayn answers the phone. He goes, Roman Reigns' phone? and you see Sammy start going, "No, man, calm down." And you're like, I'm sitting here with Roman and we're talking. He told me to answer the phone. And he's like, you don't have to be like that. Why are you screaming at me?"
That's great.
And this, that, and the other. When he hangs up the phone, Roman comes back in and he goes, "What did he want?" And Sammy's like, "He just sit there and he just yelled at me. Like, I tried to tell him to calm down, and he's like, they're stuck at the border or something like that, so they won't be here." And he's like, "And I've got an Intercontinental title 5-way match." And Roman Reigns smiles at him and goes, "Title looked good in the Bloodline, Oos."
Oh.
And Sami Zayn's like, "I'm your guy. I'm totally your guy right now."
I love that so much.
Hilarious.
So good.
Promo. It reminded me of The Rock in the Hurricane from 2003.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he's like, "I ate the Hamburglar." Fantastic.
We also got on SmackDown the Viking funeral that was hosted by the Viking Raiders for the New Day.
Which was weird.
Building a tag thing for them. Sarah Logan was featured. She's back.
You never seen her face.
No.
Just from behind.
Hold on, that's one of our bits. So the thing between Shotzi and Liv Morgan, did you see the Twitter exchange they had? Where
Vaguely.
they said, they're working the gimmick or whatever, but Shotzi Blackheart at the end of it basically was like, "Oh, are you going to run over me like you did Ruby Riott and get me fired too?" It's like, "What, are you just collecting all the green-haired girls to get rid of?" Got such a negative reception from fans that Shotzi Blackheart deleted her Twitter
deleted
account.
her Twitter account, yeah.
Shotzi's got no room to talk about fucking anything.
See, as much as you dislike Liv Morgan is how much I dislike Shotzi Blackheart.
I hate the both. I don't like either of them.
Yeah.
I can't stand either one of them.
I love Liv Morgan. Boy, did she take... Hey, hold on, do we have the what's next? Is it the Toxic Attraction? Yes. No, here it is. So, Shayna Baszler goes to do the stomp on Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan bucks up, looks up, and then Shayna Baszler just rears back and kicks her square in the face. And look, I'm pretty good at the working kick. That was kind of my thing for a long fucking time. I'm also real good at real kicks. That was a real fucking boot mash to the head.
Well, here's the deal. She had that coming from years ago when she got... you'd think she'd be able to take a kick.
Yeah.
As many as Brie Bella kicked her in the face on Raw several years ago.
Yeah. And then the other big takeaway from SmackDown we wanted to throw on was the call-up from NXT for the Women's Tag Team Title Tournament.
Yes. Go ahead there, Johnny.
Of Toxic Attraction. The team of Gigi Dolan and JC Jane teamed up against Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah.
Now, no. They took that's the match for next week.
Oh, that's the next week. I'm sorry. Who did they wrestle when
They wrestled Sonya Deville and Natalya.
Thank you. My bad.
Now, here's the deal with this. Originally, it was supposed to be Natalya and Sonya Deville against Nikita Lyons and...
Tony Stark.
Zoe Stark.
Zoe Stark.
Now,
Tony Stark.
Zoe Stark on Heatwave.
I was thinking Tony Storm for some reason.
Yeah. Zoe Stark on Heatwave got hurt wrestling Mandy Rose for the NXT title. Nikita Lyons was supposed to take place on SmackDown, but Canada decided to shut that down at the border because
they have a stringent and strict vaccination policy, and Nikita Lyons is unvaccinated. Personal choice or whatever, but that's the government's rules, so she couldn't be in Canada.
Well, and here's the deal: when it comes to that, you should have got vaccinated. I don't care what your
job, man.
Because here's the deal: You just had a main event roster spot in a tournament for titles, and because you didn't get vaccinated, you got replaced.
And you got replaced by the top tag team from NXT for the women, and now they're in your spot. And I'll be damned if they don't go all the way, because
They will be in the
are
main event.
the most popular. So we talked about last week how Beautiful People was the highest rated ever. This is true. The Beautiful People was segment to segment for Impact were the highest rated segment they ever did.
Yes.
Every single week for like 2 years straight. That's exactly what Toxic Attraction is doing in NXT. They're one of the highest rated moment for moments when you look at the ratings and the minutes to minutes. So not only did you get replaced, but you got replaced by the legitimate top article for the other show.
Yeah.
And it's all your fault. I don't feel sorry for you, but I'll be damned, Gigi Dolan. Anytime, I was not a Priscilla Kelly fan. I admit, as a matter of fact, if you go back, there is a very significant rant that I delivered on her behalf. But since she came to this show, those two and Mandy Rose have fucking killed it in NXT, and they are killing it right now on SmackDown, and they're going to be the women's tag team champions soon.
She could have got in if she self-isolated for 14 days, is what Yanni said.
But you can't work on the tour when you're only there for 2 weeks if you're waiting out for 2 weeks.
Yes.
So she could have got into the country and isolated, but she would have missed the entire tour. So what was the point?
Right, 100%.
Yeah. So
It was a mistake on her half. She had plenty of time for them to get that lined out, and they didn't.
yeah. Now,
On her, not on anyone else but her.
now let's talk about the best thing to come out of SmackDown this week. The number one contender for the Intercontinental title for Clash at the Castle. Did I give you a graphic?
No,
for that?
we didn't get a graphic
Oh
for that. Go ahead.
no, that's a shame. Oh well. They had a
I
five-way.
forgot all about it.
So did I. They had a five-way
Yes.
for SmackDown. Featured Sami Zayn,
Yes.
Baron Corbin,
Yes.
Sheamus.
Yes.
I don't remember the other two.
Madcap Moss.
Madcap Moss, was Shinsuke in it too? No.
Ricochet.
Ricochet, okay. It doesn't matter because the only three people worth watching the entire time were Sheamus, fucking Baron Corbin, and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, every time that poor bastard tried to get in the ring, got okey-doked, but the crowd loved it. But it,
And oh man, Baron Corbin pulling him out of the ring after the haluva
the
kick.
heat, baby.
Dude, and the best part is they zoom in the camera on Baron Corbin's face, and he just
Does the smile?
like a motherfucker, dude.
Then
It's
he
great.
turns in, eats a brogue kick from Sheamus.
And it's over.
Sheamus 1, 2, 3 is the number one contender for Clash at the Castle. It's going to be Gunther and Sheamus for the Intercontinental
It's
title.
going to be one of the hardest hitting matches in professional wrestling.
If you are not excited about that match, you don't love pro wrestling.
100%.
Because those two are going to beat each other like Cherokee drums. And it is going to be so much fun to watch.
The only bad part about this is in Cardiff, Wales, where Clash of the Castle takes place.
Is they're both...
If there's no titles changing hands, both of the hometown guys,
yeah.
for lack of a better term, will lose championship matches
Yeah.
at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. One of them titles is going to change
I
hands.
would hate to
And
say they're going
it
to take
won't
the
be
Intercontinental title off of Gunther.
It
So it's
won't-
probably going to
but
have to be Roman.
Yeah.
It would have to be.
Oh yeah, I'm rooting
Gunther's
for
on
Sheamus.
such a big
But
role
Gunther
right
is
now.
the guy on
There's
SmackDown.
no way Gunther's gonna
Not
get
right
the
now.
belt.
No, not till if he
But
drops that
I don't
belt.
see.
It's hard, right?
I really.
That's going to be one where some saves are going to come in handy next week.
We gotta
guys.
see what happens this week.
Yeah.
Or
We still got 2 weeks. We still got two. One
everybody
more
was
week.
waiting for it for SummerSlam. Austin Theory still has the Money in the Bank briefcase.
That's true.
Drew McIntyre could somehow pull the win out on Roman Reigns, and Austin Theory come out and screw Drew McIntyre and take the belt from him.
Like the Chiefs beat the Commanders. Like the Chiefs beat the Commanders.
Hey, the Chiefs get one win every season. Why not?
Hey, it doesn't matter. Cardinals are 5 games out ahead of the division for baseball right now, just so you're all aware. Thank you
Football
very
hasn't
much.
been football in 4 years.
But baseball's
Where
getting
you
real
been?
good. Baseball getting real good.
I play baseball every now and then with a stick and some dirt clumps out back. It's about as
you.
interesting as it gets. They still do the cardboard cutouts for baseball. Is that what they're
No,
doing?
they're
You
live
know that
cuts.
wasn't due to the pandemic. That was due to the fact that nobody gives a shit about baseball.
You couldn't be more wrong. Yankees are killing it. Red Sox are killing it. Anyway, so that clears us up for all the
See,
wrestling.
there you go. Yankees and Red Sox killing it. Think about that 10 years ago. You
Yeah.
saying that? Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's like John Cena and CM Punk debuting on Sesame Street. It makes no fucking sense.
All right, so that clears us up for all the wrestling this week. So I guess it's time to get into one of our favorite segments.
Well, before we go there,
okay.
you should tell the people where they can find us.
Okay, you know what? Why don't you do that, and I'll take the restroom break. And then
Well, why don't you take the restroom break, and I'll tell them that they can join us on Facebook,
Why don't you do some of that?
Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Catch us on Twitter, Pro Wrestling TD. You can also find us on TikTok at Pro Wrestling Throwdown 1. Send us an email, ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. Also, check us out at streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown, where you can check out our merch store. It's weird without him sitting here. Anyway, we're having the contest this week for every dollar that you either donate or spend in merch enters $1 per entry for your name for the Pro Wrestling Throwdown coffee mug, which we will send you the mug itself and some kind of a certificate of authenticity with our signatures on it, so that way we don't have to signature the actual cup itself, so it can be used. Also, and then of course next month we will be doing the contest for the I'm gonna say promo video or audio or whatever that you would like personalized.
Yeah, we maybe Caleb will call you the voice of the Macho Man or something. We'll get it fine-tuned and figure it out.
This is the Macho Man.
But for every dollar you donate, it doesn't go into our pockets. It goes right back into the show for interviews, updates to
Correct.
It's several different things, equipment, microphones, you name it. It all goes back in the show to make the presentation better for you. Also, remember to subscribe. Please subscribe. We're gaining subscribers every day. It's starting to shape us real nice.
Come somebody on the streets and you're like, hey, you're wearing a wrestling shirt. You like wrestling. You should check these guys out. Do that.
Yes, please.
Also, don't forget to like. Please like.
Yes.
For every like you give us, it tells
boosts us in the algorithm.
Yeah, it tells the algorithm, hey, we like this content. We want to see more of this content. And it helps boost ratings. It helps boost all kinds of things. So this show, we couldn't do it without you. We appreciate you guys coming and staying with us every Sunday for the better part of 2 to 2.5 hours during our broadcast.
Yep.
We love answering questions at the end, answering questions as much as we can. Now, with that out of the way, let's get to everybody's favorite part of the show, which is
time for birthdays
and bullshit.
Max, take it away.
All right.
You did really terrible last week.
I did do terribly.
Oh, Jesus.
We have
to our first birthday.
We have to open up with a birthday from a member of our own fraternity, Coach Matthew Burns, up north. Today is his birthday.
Hold on. How old is he, Max?
He is 33 today. I believe that's according to Caleb, so if it's wrong,
pretty sure he's 33.
Blame him.
Anyway, he's one of our brothers. Actually, he's going to be featured for our Indie Report segment that we're going to start implementing to the channel. That's going to go directly to the channel, and sometimes we're going to do a live broadcast over here. We've got an intro video that we have to get edited and put up so everybody can see it. But he's going to be our correspondent for all the indie shows happening up north because he sees more than anybody I know. He's a great hand. He himself is a pro wrestler. So happy birthday, Coach.
Just be
you know
clear,
we love
Coach,
you.
Luke said you were 55.
66. I mean, look at the outfit.
All right. Happy birthday, brother. We love you. We hope you enjoy the day. Have fun with the youngin'. Tell the old lady we say hello, and hope to catch you soon.
Happy birthday.
All right, now let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Right,
I lost my ass
birthdays.
last week, so let's see what happens. No, we should really start keeping tabs. Like who wins every week?
Yeah.
Who is that? You guys recognize both of them?
I do. That is Ivar?
That is Eric.
Eric, sorry.
I knew that.
And Nathan Jones.
I knew that was Eric. I just wanted to make sure that he knew it was Eric.
Well, originally it wasn't Eric.
No.
Originally it was Ivan and Ivar,
Yeah.
but they changed the names.
Yes. Eric Rue.
We'll go with him first.
Oh, man. Let me see. Sarah Logan is his partner, and they have a child together, by the way. Congrats.
Yes.
36.
I'm going to go a little older. I'm going to say 39.
Ooh, you should have went just a little bit lower, Luke. 38.
Damn.
2 days.
Damn. Already starting talking.
All right, Nathan Jones, 46 years old.
Shit.
He's up there. He's been around a while.
All right, I'll say 47, just for shits and gigs.
Well, good call. 55.
Oh, wow.
55.
I didn't think he was crushing 50 yet.
Happy birthday, guys.
Yes.
Well, I guess he was back in 04.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. We've got Stevie Ray and Paul Ellison.
He was the other one from
Stop
Harlem Heat, right?
that. Stevie Ray, the older brother of Booker T, one half of Harlem Heat from WCW, one of the best tag teams ever.
He was also the leader of the NWO White and Black when they were nobodies.
God damn you.
It's true.
Stevie Ray, let me see. 60.
Stevie Ray, 58.
How about 64?
Oh, I'm crushing it.
I'm losing my
Dang, now that already.
Paul Ellering.
Paul Ellering, 72.
73.
How about 69?
Damn. Nice.
He's also a card-carrying member of Mensa.
Sharing his birthday on the 22nd.
Yep.
Hey, we got the Usos.
Which one's older?
I like that picture. It's a great.
Which one's which?
Jay on the left of your screen.
Yes. Jimmy and Jay Uso, both the WWE Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions right now. They are members of the Bloodline, numerous time Tag Team Champions.
The same age.
Wonder how that could have worked out. From one twin to another, I hate that fucking joke.
37.
38, because I think they're older.
How about 37?
Damn! Good guess.
Thank you. Do I get 2 points for that since
No.
there's 2 of them? And you talking about an advocate for twins. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Indeed!
Joe Funaki.
Funaki, one half of Kaientai.
54.
55.
How about 54?
Damn! 54 is 45 more.
What is the answer?
Martha?
Oh my God! What is this, Max? Hold on, wait a minute. Let Max finish this. Is this an in memoriam or a birthday?
Hang on. I didn't want him to click that yet. We have. It's okay. We have a short list
That's fine.
of deaths to remember,
Oh, that's not.
and I thought it only appropriate to start out
With the career of Vince McMahon.
the career of
Yeah.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Current owner, former CEO, chairman of the WWE, pioneer in the wrestling business, bought the wrestling business from his father.
He bought a lot of things.
Oh, jeez, I can't even. You know what? He's 72.
Vince McMahon, 73.
Vince McMahon will be 77 years old.
77?
Wow.
And it's tied up 3-3.
Ooh, I tied it.
Wow.
Now, a
77.
few to remember.
It's crazy. Rocky Johnson.
Rocky Johnson.
Father of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
One half of the first ever
African American
American Tag Team
WWF Tag Team Champions.
WWF.
WF, yeah. Back when Vince Sr. ran it.
Also was the original Rock.
We've done backgrounds on Rocky Johnson. Go back, find
Yes, we
Yeah,
have.
100%.
Is that Mike Lockwood?
Yes,
No,
it is.
that is Crash Holly.
It's Mike Lockwood.
No, it's Crash Holly.
That's his real name.
No, fuck, yeah, it's Crash Holly.
All right, fuck, it's Crash
God
Lockwood.
damn.
Fuck. Yes, Crash Holly. One of the best in-ring gimmicks ever. One of the best in-ring workers ever.
24/7 champion guru.
Yeah, a hardcore champion, but yeah,
hardcore,
same thing.
Crash Holly performed as Hardcore Holly's cousin. They were considered themselves to be over 500 pounds apiece. They were super heavyweights.
Yeah.
Mike Lockwood joined ECW shortly after his WWF tenure and was found unresponsive in Stevie Richards' front room in a pool of his own vomit, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Now,
the drugs and the
If you
stuff
were
catches up to you.
born after like 96,
You might.
you might not even know who Crash Holly is.
But if you were a fan of the Attitude Era, you absolutely remember
Well,
that.
And if you don't know who he is, go back and find some footage.
Yeah.
I was talking to Luke earlier that with all the transitions going on right now, what an asset Crash
big
Holly
time.
would be in this era.
100%.
It would have been absolutely amazing.
His stuff with the Mean Street Posse chasing him, and the what they call him, not the jabronis. Yeah, Vince's jabronis.
Yeah.
Pat Patterson and Briscoe and all them chasing him. Stooges,
Yeah,
thank
the
you.
Stooges, the Stooges.
And the headbangers. The one that comes to mind for me is when they're at the kids' playland and he slides down the tornado slide to get away from him into the ball pit. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Crash Holly was a hell of a talent. Mikey Lockwood
Well,
could have been something huge.
Yeah.
And one more to remember,
memoriam,
and
let's-
then one more birthday, wrestling noise.
Ivan Putski. Or I'm sorry, Ivan Koloff.
Ivan
That's
Koloff.
Yes.
Ivan
Ivan the Crusher Koloff.
Ivan Koloff was a main level heat getter in the days of professional wrestling when bad guys usually had a gimmick
Yep.
of some sort of being a foreign
Foreign Menace.
menace He brought out, of course, Nikita Koloff, who was his storyline nephew.
Yep.
He was known as the Russian Pick.
Yep.
A madman.
One of the
when it comes to professional
heaviest-handed motherfuckers in the business.
I watched a match once from him in the old Jim Crockett promotion. It was him versus the original Sheik.
Oh my God, those matches are so good.
And when
they are insane.
When they went to the outside of the ring, people grabbed their chairs and got the fuck out of the way.
they would move out of the way.
Because they were like Bruiser Brody in a way you didn't know.
You didn't know what was going to happen.
You didn't know how crazy they legitimately were, and they were crazy.
Nuts. Yeah.
Rest in peace, sir.
All right. One final wrestling birthday.
Ooh, Jazz.
Jazz! Who briefly came out of retirement a couple years ago, wrestling at Impact.
Yes.
Did a brief stint over there before she officially is now formally and forever retired.
Yes.
54?
I'm going to say Jazz is 52.
How about 49?
49, wow.
And it's 3-3 tied up going into celebrity birthday.
All right, let's get into the celebrity wing.
All right. Start out with Carrie Ann Moss.
Carrie Ann Moss, star of the Matrix series, as well as other numerous TV products.
Co-star.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Keanu.
Keanu. Well, yes, yeah. Co-star of the Matrix series. 60.
46 years old.
About 55 today.
I was close.
Point Luke.
Damn.
In remembrance?
Well, as we remember, Kenny.
I'm Kenny Rogers.
I'm Kenny Rogers.
That's for 2020.
Kenny Rogers, one of the main voices of country music growing up.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
And
also his chicken song.
On the 22nd,
Kristen Wiig.
I love Kristen Wiig.
I fucking love Kristen Wiig. She is just zany and just nuts and so good. Man, it's hard. I don't even. She's got to be in her 40s, right?
I
don't quite think she's in her 50s yet. I'm going to say 44.
I'm going to say 40.
It should have won a little bit more. 49.
49. Okay, so almost 50.
Almost 50. Wow. See that coming.
Scott Conn.
Also, recently lost his dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Greatest role.
Cousins to Tony Khan.
Yeah. Greatest 2 roles in the history of movies. Ready to Rumble. And he was Tweeter from Varsity Blues.
That's right.
You see my dance? Bangville don't stand no chance. Bangville gonna see my dance. 46 years old.
47. That sounds right.
How about 46 years old?
Nice.
Yeah. Also, can we get a Ready to Rumble 2, please? Can we do that?
We need to do a Ready to Rumble 2 where Jimmy the King comes out of retirement and goes to AEW. Turner owns the rights.
I buy it.
Turner owns the rights to Ready to Rumble. He doesn't own the rights to WCW, but he owns the rights to Ready to Rumble.
You can also pull DDP out of retirement.
Come on, baby.
As long as there's a triple stack cage.
That's right.
Of course.
David Arquette ain't doing nothing. They killed him in the last Scream movie. He ain't doing nothing.
I don't even want to talk about that. I'm still mad about that.
I'm unhappy about it myself.
It's up at the top of the cage of death.
One man. What was it? One title is on the line. $1 million is on the line, and one man's life is on the line. He doesn't even have to win. He just has to survive.
He's not going to win. I mean, he's going to win.
Okay, we're gonna get ourselves into a way different conversation.
We don't own the rights to any of that.
No,
either,
we don't.
Just so you know. All right.
Ed Sheeran.
Hold on, that's not Ed Sheeran. That's the boy who could fly.
No,
we got Rupert,
the boy who thought he could drive a flying car.
That's true. We got Rupert Grint and Dave Chappelle.
Rupert can smoke in here.
You can't. Rupert's 34 years old.
Rupert is 35 years old.
Rupert Grint will be 34 years old.
Nice.
I know my Harry Potter people.
Dave Chappelle, 56.
57.
Dave Chappelle will be 49 years old.
Wow, I thought he
Chappelle's
was
not even 50.
It's tied 5-5 with 2 left because our next one is a memoriam.
Okay.
The great,
the great woman slapping Sean Connery.
Sir Sean Connery.
The great woman slapping Sir Sean Connery.
That's right. All right.
He escaped the Rock. You leave that fucking man alone.
Chappelle's R. Kelly skit is one of the best.
Gonna pee on you. Drip,
I'm
drip,
gonna
drip,
piss
drip,
on
drip,
you.
drip. His Tupac one was even better than that.
I'm trying
It's 1994. I'm not alive, or something like that.
All right.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
We have 2 birthdays left.
All right, let's get them.
Oh man.
The Kiss Demon from WCW.
No, wrong demon.
Wait.
This one made money.
Oh,
Gene
Simmons.
Gene Simmons, ladies and gentlemen.
Of the band Kiss, who's had more farewell tours than
Then the Stones.
anybody. In fact,
It's not.
most of you were probably they probably had 15 farewell tours before most of the people watching were even born.
And it's not even.
I would like to share for the fact that I went to the farewell concert of the 4 original members of
That's
Kiss.
right. They were both there.
Yeah. Yes.
They're not even a real band. They are a bankroll.
They're Knights in
They
Sacred
are a
Service. And you leave them
bankroll.
alone. Yeah. Oh yeah, they got everything. Case caskets. The song "Love Gun" was about Paul Stanley's dick.
They wrote
numerous
They
things.
wrote music just to sell merchandise. They didn't
really
write music
did.
for the love of the game.
They ain't wrote music in 20 years.
And
They
they
just
still
sell
selling merchandise.
No, Gene Simmons, 79 years old.
77 years old.
Who will be 73
Damn.
years
I should have
old.
just said 70.
Way younger than that.
No point, right?
No point. So this is
But
it.
if I
This is for all the
last
potatoes.
one, we might have to come up with some kind of tiebreaker. I don't know.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy, whose husband is Ben Falcone, whose father is Steve Falcone, who was my college theater professor.
Yep.
She is from Southern
I
Illinois.
thought they ran Gotham City.
Well, they do.
That's the other Falcon.
She is an SIU alumni as well as Ben is. She is from here in Southern Illinois.
I thought she was up from Champaign.
No, she's from here, but it's one of the northern parts of Southern Illinois.
Gotcha.
So it's I don't remember. But she is married to Ben Falcone. As a matter of fact, Ben Falcone is a writer and producer for almost all of her films and is featured in every single movie she does.
Yep.
In Bridesmaids, the air marshal that
Yeah.
arrests her, that's Ben. That's her husband.
Well, the new show that she's in right now, God's Favorite Idiot,
Yeah.
he's the star.
He's actually rather hilarious.
She can outdrink all 4 of us sitting here at this table without even trying.
Oh, no doubt in my mind.
That woman puts back. She's hilarious and she's lovely and you're wonderful, Melissa. Anyway,
All right, now that you're done
how
kissing,
old are you? Oh God, I have to be careful when I what guess I make.
You
Yeah,
know
you
about her.
44 is going to be my guess.
44 is your guess. I'm going to say, I'm going to Price is Right your ass. 45.
How about 52?
Damn!
Oh, Luke wins.
I can't believe I lost on Melissa. That sucks.
Nah.
I'm gonna
I'm
have
a
to.
writer and teller.
That's what's gonna
Now,
have to happen.
I have just a couple things that I ran across on the internet here that kind of little trivia.
Sure.
Let's see. You ever notice how banana flavored stuff never quite tastes like bananas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually figured that out. Artificial banana flavoring is based on an extinct banana.
Oh, I see.
Actually, it's I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically there was.
They developed the flavor before this particular
Yes.
species of banana stopped being accessible to humans.
Yes, back
That makes
in
sense.
whenever
That's
it
interesting.
was.
Yeah.
1950s.
Actually, randomly and weirdly enough, there are several species of bananas that are still currently going extinct. So save the banana.
Yeah.
Now,
Rowdy Cowboy.
trivia question.
All right.
What is Sonic the Hedgehog's real name?
Sonic?
Sonic? I don't know.
I really thought you might know this, Luke. I didn't know this. In fact, Sega's poster boy is actually named Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog.
Huh.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. Interesting.
Wolfie says my cousin, I believe, was an extra in the beginning of Ready to Rumble. That's fucking cool.
Nice.
I hope he was the gas station guy.
So I think I have one more on here.
The Weasel Zappa? There's a lot of glare coming off of that dome of yours, squirreless!
I like how we both went for the outtake, not the actual line. That's how you know we know that movie way too well.
Yes.
All right, Max, what else you got for us?
Yeah, I didn't know that about Sonic. That's interesting.
Well, here's something else interesting. When you toast somebody, you're at a gathering, you stand up and give a toast, right?
Yeah, like
you know where
toast.
that comes from?
No.
That actually, the ancient Romans used to drop a piece of toast in their wine
Yes.
for good health.
Yep.
I see.
You know who taught me that?
Hence,
You know who
a
taught me
toast.
that?
I did.
Sheldon Cooper. On The Big Bang Theory talks about it.
Well, he didn't teach it very well because you just said you didn't fucking know.
I said I didn't know where it came from. I know what it is.
Ladies.
It's spice toast, by the way.
You're spice toast.
Your face is fucking spice toast.
I think you're
I don't
both
know what
idiots.
you're talking about.
I'm gonna get that boy a
Don't
damn
drink,
good dentist.
Don't drink, don't smoke.
That's all I really got right now. What else we got going on?
All right, well, we've got something that needs to be talked about. I'm going to give the floor to Caleb, and I'm just going to be that guy who, stands behind you and goes, yeah, and this,
Does
that,
he
and
get
the
the
other.
camera
Oh,
too?
wait a minute.
No,
Sorry,
we got
we got
one more thing.
One more thing.
Roman Reigns, as of today, is 721
21
days straight WWE Universal Champion. I knew that one. I was going to say it.
The blue belt, in case you were wondering. You usually ask, which belt? Is it the blue one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
All right, now that we have said this, we're going to go into something that needs to be talked about.
All right,
that
so
took place on Facebook just this past week.
August 27th, Tony Flood's going to be defending the SNPW Heavyweight Championship against Dalton Diamond. Now, as you guys know, Dalton Diamond was one of the featured members of the roster for Anified Underground, where we were the commentary team. Max was part of the music team. We were the ancillary team for production. A lot of people don't know, and I've said it a couple times here, but just to get reference, Dalton and I wrestled together forever ago. Started wrestling together. Have been all up and down every fucking road together. We had a bit of a back and forth on Facebook, which wasn't supposed to end up like that. I basically said, pretty altruistically that Dalton Diamond's got to have a big fight on his hands when it comes to Tony Flood. I also know Tony Flood real well. Same situation. He and I broke into the business literally together and traveled up and down the roads. I've spent the night at Tony Flood's house numerous times. I fucking know his kids. I know his family. I know his mother. And I was just trying to point out that, I know both these guys. It's going to be a hell of a match, but I also know Dalton Diamond's tactics. And then it kind of spun out of control. Dalton and I had some words. I later on commented, it looks like we got some heat. And that spanned a lot. Look, we got a show. We do a show every Sunday. If you have something that you need to say to me, come say it. Point blank. I've been out of the game for a long time, actively. The last match I had was 5 years ago, in 2017. Or was it 2018? 2017. So 5 years I've been inactive from the wrestling business. When I was a commentator, I never put myself first. I lost my cool one time at the table. I was reprimanded by management, and I never did it again. I know my place in the business. However, I don't have to take disrespect just because I'm not part of the game. Anybody here knows me, knows I don't have to take disrespect, knows that I won't. So, August 27th, I'll be there to watch you wrestle Tony Flood for the heavyweight title. Mark my words, Dalton. You're going to see me next week. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 4 p.m. I'll be sitting right there front row. And if you do have something to say to me, why don't you come on and say it to my face? Because you already said you'd show up and say something, and I told you where I was. Everybody knows where I'm at, so I'm going to make sure you know where I'm at. Good luck on your match. Thoughts?
Well, here's the deal. I come in towards the middle of this conversation that was taking place on the on the internet, on Facebook, when all you were trying to do was point out the fact that these two wrestlers were going to have a hell of a contest. That's what we do. We're commentators now. We're not in-ring wrestlers anymore. However, a man sometimes has to be a man. And you, first off, coming at Caleb sideways was probably the biggest mistake you'll ever make in your career. And then when I tried to jump in and say something to kind of alleviate the situation, I was told to stay in my own lane. I have a lane. It's called Victory Lane. I'm there very often. Have been for a long time. Now here's the deal. On, what was the 27th?
27th, 6 days from today.
My man is going to show up to watch the action as an ambassador for Pro Wrestling Throwdown, as an ambassador, as a journalist, to be there in the house to support one of the guys that everyone come up with in this business. If you have something to say, now would be the time to say it. Because here's the deal. You're right. You don't have to take the disrespect. You shouldn't have to take the disrespect. And as far as I'm concerned, he won't take the disrespect. Because here's the deal. I put a leash on this man a lot. I do. I try to keep you grounded and all that. On the 27th, leashes are off. If you have something to say, you can say it to this man's face.
And here's the thing. I didn't come at you trying to get a spot. I didn't come at you trying to get over on you. I came at you with facts about your own wrestling career because absolutely nobody knows your Rolodex better than I do. We were fucking tag team partners, Dalton. Remember? Because I do. As a matter of fact, the reason we weren't ICAW tag team champions was because of you, not because of me. And which one of us went on to be heavyweight champ? Which one of us went on to hold that company on our backs? Which one of us went on to wrestle every single spot that you had when people were telling you you couldn't hack it and they were booking me instead? Don't you fucking come into my house and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't disrespect me either, because I didn't disrespect you. I, again, haven't done this in a long time, and I have no intention of doing it again. But if you want to make this an issue, you got two options. You can say it to me on the 27th, or you can bring your ass right here, and we'll do it live in front of everybody so the whole world can see me call you on your bullshit. And if you can't do that, I highly recommend you tuck that fucking yellow tail between your legs and you keep that big mouth shut, because I will have absolutely zero problem in real life shutting it for you. Now, we don't do that on this show. This show is about wrestling, but this is about wrestling, and this is about me and you. It's not about anybody else. So, if you have something to say it to me in 6 days. Or keep your mouth shut and keep my name out of it.
Smack you like Will Smith.
It's the only thing I got. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you tune in next week when I give you a full report of what happened at SNPW Saturday night when we do this show Sunday the very next day.
All right, let's pitch to socials before we go and get to 5 questions.
Check us out over on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at Pro Wrestling Throwdown 1. You can also check us out at streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown, where you can also access our merch store, which includes all sorts of fun knickknacks and paddywhacks. If you're going to buy something, your name gets entered in. If you donate something, your name gets entered in. We're doing a drawing at the end of the month for a coffee cup. And now that we pitched the socials, we're taking 5 questions from you, our viewers, our fans, our dedicated listeners.
Take care, Jennifer.
And on-watchers. 5 questions about professional wrestling or whatever you got on your mind, starting right now. We're on a lag, so we're going to give you a minute to catch up.
Right meow.
Meow?
Meow.
Meow.
Meow. Let's see, Rebecca. They'll take you home.
License registration, chicken fucker.
All right, 5 questions.
Now I'm fucking cooking.
Now he's cooking with Crisco.
Yeah, we're cooking with Sherry tonight. The sensational
She
kind.
sounds nice.
Well, she was. Fortunately, I got her redhead and blonde sister inside.
What is the most cringe match you've ever seen?
Most cringe match I've ever seen.
Ooh.
Oh, I was pretty mad about that, John. You're right. Thanks, Wolfie. Most cringe match. Ooh. What do you... Okay, so like...
I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
It happened actually not that long ago. Goldberg and The Undertaker at... Crown Jewel?
Crown Jewel.
That's pretty cringe.
Yeah.
That's pretty cringe.
I mean, not even... I won't go as that far. I'll say like... Probably... What was it? Backwell's mom on a pole match in WCW.
My God, terrible.
One of the worst stipulations
How
ever.
about Viagra on a pole match?
Yeah, the
with Shane
Viagra on a
Douglas?
pole. All the Russo ideas that were just fucking terrible.
The reverse battle royal was kind of terrible.
Yeah, what, the Impact one?
Russo's
as
well.
Yeah, Russo had a lot of bad ideas.
He really did. For every 3 good ideas he had 12
bad ones. You can quote Chris Jericho on that.
100%.
Jericho knows all about bad ideas.
Yeah, look at him. You know who else knows about bad ideas?
Who's that?
Jonathan Gresham.
Oh, God, here we go.
I will not stop.
You're going to be like Christopher Titus.
I will not stop until you or your garbage girlfriend, wife, whatever she is,
It's not.
answers me back.
It's never gonna happen.
I've tweeted you on Twitter, and you still won't say anything. So as far as I'm concerned, that means that it's 1 me, 0 you, and until you can prove me any different, you're a trash bag individual.
Oh boy.
And your husband, is it a husband?
No.
Is about as vanilla as can possibly be.
Well, we answered this question last week, Nightmare. They're bringing back a lot of people. We answered last week. We said Bray Wyatt. We said a few other names.
Tegan Knox.
Tegan Knox is on that list for sure. So I'm not going to field that one. We got 4 more questions. And also, the tuxedo match. You're talking about the tuxedo match between Macho Man and...
no, he's talking about the one between Harvey Whippleman and Howard Finkel.
Oh, okay.
The one on Raw.
Oh, don't disrespect the Fink.
It was terrible, but it was good at the same time.
Coming to you live from Madison Square
Coming
Garden.
to you live from Joe Microsoft.
Rest in peace. All right, 4 more questions before I get too excited again.
Move around a lot. I get it.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You're a bad person.
Hey, I'm not. You know who is a bad person, though? Jonathan Gresham.
I knew you were going to do that to me.
Actually, that's not true. That's not true. He's the second worst behind his garbage wife.
Don't call her garbage. That's not-
Okay, I'm sorry. Behind his trash bag wife.
That's also not okay.
It's totally okay with me. And here's the deal. I don't even got to get dirty. My wife take her out. Molotov cocktail.
I believe she would. I know your wife. John, buddy, we've been through this a lot. I love you, but you can't just come in here and try to put yourself over on our show. My best memory of you was probably...
When you called Omos for winning the Royal Rumble?
Actually, you know what? I
almost killed him in.
I do actually have one really cool memory that I've referenced this before, and I'll count this as one of the questions. John and I were having a match, and for some reason, we were both we were wrestling for my old the TPW company that I ran, and or TCW, whatever it was, and we both traded off kicks. We both went for slide kicks where both of us jumped over, and then we both went for spinning karate kicks at the same time that both missed, but we both landed on our feet. That was a very cool moment that did happen, and it was awesome. Now, that being said, John...
Slap the ref.
Slap the ref is also one of my favorite memories. All right,
Slap the ref.
3 more questions.
Slap the ref, don't you?
Uh-huh. I remember getting my ass beat that day. And my wallet getting stolen. Carny bastards.
That happens.
All right, 3 more. See you, buddy.
Love you too, brother. See you next Sunday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Bat channel. The 28. We'll be here live. Hold on, we got 3 more questions to go. We're going to give them right up until like 1:55 because of the lag. If we don't get anything after that, we're going to close out.
All right. So, speaking of wrestling, Max brought up something earlier. We're just gonna like kind of just build something here until we get some questions. Oh, wait a minute.
Ooh,
go ahead.
This is a good one. How did we all meet? Well, Max and I met in high school. When I started as a freshman in Carterville High School.
2,000 years ago.
Yeah, forever, a lifetime ago. Max and I met at school. He was actually the first person in Carterville to say a word to me. Hold on, Ghostly, we'll answer that here in 1 second.
Unbeknownst to me.
Unbeknownst to him, he was the first person who said a word to me. We were sitting at the lunch table, and some of the guys were talking about politics, and I was just listening and didn't really say anything, and Max had come over and sat down and said hello to everybody, and we immediately hit it off. We started talking, realized we lived in basically the same neighborhood.
Yeah, relative, about 4 blocks from each other.
And then Luke and I met at IWA Mid-South's April Blood Showers.
Officially met in
2005. We somehow, I think we became like MySpace friends or something. And then while we were sitting outside, they were talking, ironically enough, they were talking about the build for the Shawn Michaels Hulk Hogan match at SummerSlam. And so that's when we started talking. And that's where we met. And then the UWE thing came along from Rob, who was trying to build a promotion. And we reached out to Luke. And that's what really started all of our mutual friendship. And we have been friends ever since for the past 17 years.
17 long.
17
Is that all
long,
it's been?
long years.
We've rode the roads together. We've seen the highest of highs and the lowest
We've
of
been
lows.
through deaths, marriages, divorces.
Yes.
We've been through every single type of drunken night, every drunken fight, see, I'll put it like this. There are few people who I can ever say who have seen me at my absolute worst in general and my absolute best. And both of these guys are those two people. Because what we got is for life.
And Johnny's my main man.
That's right. And Big Bad John, actually, I met Big Bad John through
me.
Through Luke.
As did I.
Do we want to divulge that side of stuff? Is that... Probably not. Probably not.
Very, 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 very close.
Very close in a very, very long, weird, roundabout way. Well, considering one party is very close to someone in my family and blah, blah, blah. It's basically we have family. All right.
We are family.
All right. What's the
Don't know that either.
What's the most bloodiest, brutal match you've ever seen? Probably the barbed wire massacre match between Sabu and Abyss.
Bloodiest... I would say bloodiest brutal match I've ever seen. Starrcade 1. That would be Roddy Piper and Valentine.
Yeah.
The dog collar match.
Yeah. Oh, this one we're definitely answering. All right. No more questions. We've got a few here to field, and this last one's going to be a damn good one. All right. Could EC3 or Strowman come back? Strowman, yes. EC3, no.
Strowman, most certainly. I think so.
Actually, I randomly am friends on Facebook now with EC3. Like the real one.
Adam Shearer or Braun Strowman is dating Raquel Rodriguez from SmackDown. I don't see that being a far possibility.
Yeah.
Now, what is your favorite wrestling theme song? Wow. D-Generation X's Run DMC version of The Kings of Rock.
Yes. I'll just throw it out there because I know everybody. I'll make everybody laugh. Sure, I don't care. When I go to the gym every morning, and I put my headphones in, and being a wrestler, you can't walk out of a locker room without feeling like you're walking out
of a locker room. Yeah.
My absolute favorite thing to walk out to is the game Triple H.
Yeah,
Okay,
I get
so not
Overhead is the shit.
Not my favorite one, because I've got my favorite answer, but I've got a great story about a wrestling theme song. When the RPW guys went to Aurora for a show we did up north, it was me, Jose Guerrero, Bill Kryptonite, Cole James, and somebody else all piled up in this truck. And the entire 4.5-hour drive, we listened to I Am a Real American on repeat. And just jammed out fucking the entire time. It was ridiculous.
I think me and you did that for half the summer.
Yeah, oh yeah. But my favorite wrestling theme song, I don't know that I've ever told anybody this because it's a really terrible choice, but I can't help it. It's a tie between Mark Henry's theme song, Somebody Go Get Their Ass Whipped.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about
Somebody Go
Sexual
Get Their Ass
Chocolate.
Whipped. No, that and then, totally honest, Burning Inside My Light, Randy Orton's theme song after he left Evolution.
Hey, nothing you can say.
I know it's one of the worst
My
ones.
name is Randy.
But it's one of my absolute favorites. All right. Now, here's a really cool question.
Hold on, before we get to that question.
Yeah.
Fat Laces. Be sure to subscribe.
They did.
They did.
Yeah, we're at 204
Thank you
now.
for subscribing.
Yeah, thank you.
Join us every week. Also, be sure to join us on Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown so you can get the time.
Yeah, because
and
we do different. Like October is going to have a bunch of different times and days.
Yes.
This is probably going to be some weird ones where we do it like on a Tuesday night or something.
But we love your questions. We would love to have you here every week.
All right, so Fat Laces poses a great question. What's more overexposed and needs to stop or slow down? The use of blood in AEW or the use of personal digs of dead loved ones, i.e. Brian Pillman and Luke Perry? Here's my take, and it might be a controversial one, but a heel's job is to get heat.
Yes.
And I don't believe, while yes, there is a concept of cheap heat, I believe that one way you... So I saw, basically this comes from this. Sean Rossap the other day said something about, I just don't like personal demons being used in storylines. And I understand that, but also, all of those things in real life reflect who we are and how we got where we are now. So if you want to remove that element of using personal digs against family and drugs and booze and stuff, you really lose the sort of element where your babyface can explore their personal growth. I.e., CM Punk cut a great promo in 2005 against Raven when he was still in Ring of Honor. When CM Punk very poignantly said in this promo, everything you've always had is the thing that I'm fighting to get. He was like, I've been in Ring of Honor busting my ass, and I want to be at the top, and you were at the top. And you pissed it away for drugs, for booze, for women. And to be fair, at that time, Raven was one of the top stars in the industry. So I think there is an element of tact, but I also believe that it comes down to personal agreements between the boys. If I tell you, my mom's passed away, and there's no secret that I had a drinking problem a couple years ago where I drink on this show, but you guys don't understand, I was drinking 2 bottles of whiskey a day. So if I go into a program with someone and I say, it's okay if you bring up my drinking, that's fine with me, because it's something I accept about myself, and it's also something later on I can come back and use to get myself over.
I had several people use my addiction problems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but also, if I come to you out of respect and I say, look, just don't mention my drinking. Don't mention my mom. Please don't do that. And you do it anyway, that's when it's not okay. If Jungle Boy says, you know what, it's okay if you talk about my dad because I accept it. And also, Jungle Boy can come out then when he gets the big win and he's like, I did this for my dad. I did this to make him proud. It's all about preference and it's all about what the wrestlers expect.
Now let me take the other side. When it comes to the use of blood, I do believe that when it comes to the talk of a dead loved one or something like that, my mind immediately goes back to Eddie Guerrero.
Yep, Rey Mysterio, one for Eddie.
Which, here's the deal with that. That is nothing more than Tony Khan rehashing something that worked in what?
Well, but it's always worked.
But you see what I'm saying.
Bill Watts' philosophy in wrestling was always, if it's real, it'll make money.
Now, the use of blood, I do believe, needs to slow down. I don't believe it needs to stop.
No.
The use of blood should be used as a poignant exclamation point on a blood feud.
Yes.
Blood should be toned down. It should be only used in major circles or major situations.
Unless it's a random one-off to get a babyface over.
That's it needs to be meaningful.
Like it needs to be meaneful. Should you bleed in every single match like Jon Moxley does? No.
No.
Should you bloody your opponent up like in every match? No. Unless you're really, really trying to point home, but really only heels should do that. Unless you're really trying to point home brutality.
That's when you get into what is known now as deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah.
Yes.
So no. Do I think that AEW should slow down on the blood use? Yes.
Yes.
But that's only because when they use blood, it should be special.
It should be meaningful.
When John Cena had the I Quit match with John Bradshaw Layfield.
Oh, man.
John never really bled. John really never bled. He got busted open a couple of times. But that match is what solidified his heavyweight title run after he beat JBL at WrestleMania 21.
100%.
Because in that I Quit match, he literally bled so much that they did not know if he was going to survive. Now, again, that's their report and blah, 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 and that's a great story to tell. But what it looked like, the visual, was that JBL beat him bloody and to death, and John still won.
He never gave up.
But it's how you use it.
Yes.
I have only ever bled for real, in one match, and that was by accident.
For real?
Because I protected it. Because I don't believe, number one, I don't believe that in real life a bunch of dudes can hit me hard enough to bust me open, and I say that because in real life, I fought a lot, to which they can agree with. But you didn't see a whole lot of times where someone hit me and they busted me open. So if we're going to do that in a context in which we're going to make it real, with the exception of using a gimmick like the pizza cutter that Nick Gage uses, because you're obviously going to get blood, or the blood tap sticks, barbed wire, all the shit you see in deathmatch wrestling, which is part of that culture. So blood is expected in a straight up wrestling match. It should be special because then it's meaningful.
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, when he bled to Bret Hart in the sharpshooter at SummerSlam, that was special because it made Stone Cold.
The way Sheamus, if you pay attention, almost every match, Sheamus, just because of his skin or whatever, gets those random cuts all over.
Yeah.
Well, here's my stance.
And it's meaningful.
Yeah.
Here's my stance on blood. For a TV, yes, you should slow it down. I don't have a lot of excuses or area in this because anyone who sees my forehead sees that I've bled more than most.
Yeah.
But I did it on an independent scene where you needed that exclamation
That extra,
point
and that's
in
just,
each town.
And that's just to get you over and get your name out there.
As far as being really busted open, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Usually an
Hard way
accident.
suck, but
the bleeding, especially on television, should be used very minimally and should be used to sell a story.
And the same thing with your question about dead loved ones. As long as it's special and as long as it's being utilized the right way. MJF, his entire gimmick is that he says everything that no one would say. And he says it deliberately to get over the fact that he's a dickhead. But not everyone can do that. Number one, it's about delivery. Because any heel can say whatever they want, but if you don't buy into what they're saying, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't get heat by saying words, you get heat by the intensity you put behind it. I can cut a promo on a broomstick and make you believe that when I put that fucking broom in my hands, I'm going to snap it in 2. Look at my face. Listen to my tonality. Look at the expression I give. So it's about the delivery and it's about what's going to happen afterward. When I get up and I break that broom, where's the payoff?
Right.
Is there going to be? But that's the thing. It's all a story. So is that broom going to get up and hit me back? No. So then, what was the point of the entire diatribe that I made about breaking the broom?
Well, that's like anyone who carries a guitar to the ring should know how to play it.
I agree.
Anyone
completely.
who brings a bull rope to the ring should know how to whip it.
If you're going to use a gimmick, it should be your gimmick. It should be something that's special.
Thank you, Mama.
Deathmatch wrestlers are really good about this, but deathmatch wrestling culture is all about the ingenuity of the gimmick.
Deathmatch wrestling is about blood.
Yeah, so that's entirely different. But for a gimmick, like you said with the guitar, if I don't play it, why am I bringing it? Sure, I'm going to hit you with it. And here's the thing, Jeff Jarrett can play guitar. But you never saw him play guitar because it just became about the guitar.
Yeah.
But you know for a fact that he can play it, so it makes sense for this southern guy to have it.
Honky Tonk Man played the guitar every time he went to the ring.
And all of those examples still in this same vein, as long as it's special and as long as it's meaningful, nothing's off limits.
No.
But if it's not special, if it's not meaningful, if it's not going to progress you or the other person,
you're wasting
you
your
don't
breath.
need it because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can come out one week and you're going to cut the most scathing, hateful promo on the guy you're wrestling, and you're going to beat that guy. And that whole next week, you're going to be on top of the world, but if they're not going to put you over on the next guy, all the shit you did to that guy before you doesn't matter. So it's all about what you're going to say, even like the real examples with Punk using the WWE drops in his promo this previous week. He's doing that with a former WWE guy.
Yes.
Who's been up and down the same roads. If you look at their Rolodex to the Indies, the same things. So in that regard, 2 great promo guys giving real-life insight from guys who know one another. Could CM Punk have cut that promo on who's a random AEW name? Max Caster.
Yeah.
Could he have done the same thing? No, because it wouldn't have meant the same thing. So it's all about what's special, and it's all about what you do next with it, is the very long-winded answer. That's such a great question. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I genuinely mean that.
Yeah.
I love having introspective things that we can break down and think about.
100% question of the week, of the month.
And also, if you have questions like that, please submit them to the Facebook so we have time to think about great answers to give you guys. Also, we're hitting the 2 hours and 5 minute mark. This has been a great show today. We gained another subscriber. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like us. One more time, make sure you find us at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. Send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. Follow us on TikTok at ProWrestlingThrowdown1. Make sure to check out Streamlabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown to access our merch store.
Merch store!
I'm sorry, I was trying to do the closeout. And from everybody here to you guys, thanks for tuning in. And as always, keep it in the ring.
Did he say suck it?
He did say suck
sure
it.
he
He's
said
a
suck
DX Mark.
What's up, baby?
Fucking Mark.
I
I don't want to see him with the... And the damn screen!